All right, welcome to the podcast. This is episode 9, Something New. Open up with Jzonqellis.
What's going on, Buffalo?
What's going on, man? How are you doing?
I'm good, bro.
Good.
Good seeing you again.
Absolutely. This is an episode or interview that I was very excited for.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
I saw you randomly came back to Facebook one day. And I was like, are you serious? Jzonqellis? Jzonqellis is, let me give a little background. Jzonqellis is one of the first artists that I really figured out was a Buffalo rapper way back.
Appreciate it.
When I first started doing my thing out here. And just the old school vibe mixed with like that new school sound type of thing that you brought to it.
Much appreciated.
I really gravitated towards. So, and you're almost like a fable, damn near, because like you'll come through and you'll disappear. You come back, disappear. I had this conversation with Brennan, my boy BA. You know him. Yeah. We were in the studio over at Bridge. Shout out to Bridge Studios. And I was like, yo, you know who we haven't heard from in mad long that's fucking fire? He was like, nah, who? I was like, Jzonqellis. He was like, yo, yeah. Damn, we ain't heard from him in mad long. So it's cool. It's an honor to sit down and talk to you, open up right now. So thank you for doing this.
No problem, man. Thanks for having me.
Of course.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, we're moving right along with these things. This is episode 9, like I said. Big things on the horizon.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely big things on the horizon. So, first off, Jzonqellis, that's your real name?
Yeah,
Word. That's what's up.
Yeah.
Very unique name.
Thanks, appreciate it.
Where you been, man? Started off like that. Where you been?
I can definitely respect that. Just shoot right to the point. Man, enjoying your fatherhood, working. You know,
Word.
like I had a daughter even back then. Like she was a baby back then.
Mm-hmm.
Like she might have been like maybe 1 year old back then, 2 years old back then.
Yeah.
She'll be 9 next
Wow.
month. Yeah,
Wow.
so then I'm having another baby, thanks. She'll be here February 12th.
Okay.
So yeah, I've pretty much just been enjoying fatherhood, working, establishing stuff, things
That's
of that
what's
nature. Just
a baby of the new decade.
yeah.
Very nice.
Right.
That's awesome.
In Trump's
That's
era.
awesome.
Scary, right?
Yeah, he's supposed to be on the way out, so everything should be looking better and brighter now. So
exciting and scary. It's crazy.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Always got to find a silver lining in there.
Pretty much.
Mr. Can't Hold My Mic cord is in the building. You got a lot of quotables in these tracks, man.
I appreciate it.
Definitely. Where do you draw inspiration from when it comes to really putting the pen to the paper?
Pretty much, I look at it like this. You know how a lot of people are taught to look outward?
Yeah.
I look at it like there's nothing wrong with me at all.
Mm-hmm.
Everything that I need, but pretty much to make a good track, I have it already. I just need to sit down and I need to search within myself to figure out, okay, where is it? How can I go about pulling this out?
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I might take my daughter to get an ice cream and it might just come out.
Right.
I might have had a conversation or something like that with the person serving my daughter's ice cream.
Mm-hmm.
I can go to 7-Eleven and get a coffee.
Right.
The cashier might be in a good mood that day. Or I might bump into somebody who remembers me from back in those days where you guys remember me from.
Right.
And they might say something that might spark something that was, lingering around in my subconscious. Like,
right.
Oh, wow, yeah, I remember that. Like, wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Pretty much from there,
Mm-hmm. Got you. So you really draw from real life experiences, which is good. And listen to your music, you really don't sit there and talk about, the BS that you might hear on the radio or glorify any type of like evil behavior or anything like that. Actually, you stand against some of the evil behavior, which I really appreciate.
Indeed.
Yeah, definitely. Record called Scrubs on SoundCloud. Pale-faced women clutching their handbags.
Yeah.
Is that a real thing? That's real life? You went through that at one point?
Yeah.
Do you feel a pressure being a black man out here in Buffalo? I mean, that's a stupid question because it's pretty racist and segregated.
I mean, it's not a stupid question because you're pretty much trying to see, like, my insight on it.
Right.
It's crazy because you as a black man who just asked me that question, you instantly just knew. You see how we made eye contact when you asked me that question? You instantly just knew, like, yeah.
Right.
He definitely deals with this because I deal with it. Yeah,
right.
Of course.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to look threatening.
Right.
Like, as far as in a sense of me acting out. Like, I don't have to go out and punch a hole in the wall to be considered threatening.
Right.
I don't have to talk vulgar to be considered threatening.
Right.
I can have a simple conversation with somebody, and a couple can happen to walk past, and she might kind of gravitate towards her husband a little bit, and might look at him like, honey, like him.
Right.
Might just clutch her bag.
Right.
And it's like, damn, I'm having a conversation over here. I'm not.
Right.
I didn't even notice.
Right, you didn't even notice these people walking
Yeah.
by, but it's like they noticed you obviously right off the jump.
Oh yeah.
Because of obvious reasons.
And I'm
And, you know,
identified as a threat with my back turned.
Right.
You know how crazy that is?
That's wild.
That's crazy.
That's
Like,
super wild.
For your back, your eyes, all of your attention to be completely off of a set of people or whatever the case, and you're still identified as a threat. That's crazy.
Right.
Like, we're having a conversation, somebody will stroll right past. And this would be like, wow, like, or they'll hit their car alarm twice or something like that. It's like,
yeah, that's the classic one.
you know, like,
It's
yeah,
like, ain't nobody going in there beat up bullshit. I wasn't going in the BMW. I'm trying to go to Wegmans.
Right. Like, you kind of look back at it and it's like, okay, look, like, even if somebody was actually down on their luck, stop assuming that somebody's ethnicity or whatever the case is why they'll rob you.
Right.
You know, like, that, last time I checked, nigga is a behavior.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a color, you know?
Mm.
So anybody could be a nigga. If a Chinese guy happens to act out like a ignorant asshole, he's a nigga.
Mm-hmm.
If a white guy acts like an ignorant asshole, he's a nigga. Nigga is pretty much a behavior.
Right.
You know, like, there's no such thing as, oh, well, that word is just limited to the color of your skin. No, that's silly.
Right.
That's a real ignorant assumption that people make.
Right. So what do you think about people who, like, of not the black culture or just of black skin, whatever you want to say, use that word?
Honestly, it was a time where I would have reacted pretty much like how I'd be expected to react, but then it's pretty much like if you're using it because you want to feel cool, or if you're using it because somebody of a certain ethnicity has made you upset, somebody black has made you upset, or somebody melanated rather has made you upset, and you say that word. I like that.
The correction.
Yeah. Because, you know, an ethnicity cannot be a color.
You shouldn't be identifying yourself as a color at all. Even white people, you should not.
Right. But
you're a color. You give no status to yourself once you do
even
that.
a white person to tell you, I'm Irish.
Yeah, right, exactly.
I'm Italian. I'm Sicilian.
People who don't know will call themselves a color.
Yeah, I'm Polish. They'll tell you, like, I'm not white. Like, I'm not just any white. They'll say Caucasian too.
Right.
Like, they'll instantly shut it down.
Right. It's a paradigm shift nowadays. People are starting to really know what words are. Right. And like you say in some of your records, words are very powerful. You need to watch out what you say.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Stop being so reckless with the speech. You manifest what you speak.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yep.
Indeed.
What record is that?
That's exclusive.
Exclusive.
That was the day after Nipsey Hussle was murdered.
Yeah, that's the one where you were. Let me just come in here and my condolences. Yeah.
Pretty much. Yeah. What happens is then I also look at it like if somebody's actually using that word to be down, it's like that's retarded as hell. Because it's like damn,
that's mad corny.
Like if we're cool and you feel like you want to, people like to relate to their friends.
Right.
Why in the hell would you utter an insult to relate to me?
Right.
That's crazy. You would utter an insult to relate like that. That's nuts.
Right.
Like that's like if I had a friend who was a diabetic or something like that,
and
I wanted to feel like I wanted us to really kick it or whatever the case. I take him to Famous Donuts, and I say, hey, get whatever you want.
On the house.
Yeah, pretty
whatever
much.
Sweets you want,
man,
on me. That's crazy.
Don't worry about anything. I got it.
Don't worry about anything.
Eat it all. Overdose on it. And it's like, damn. So when this person suffers from insulin shock, I could tell the doctor I was just trying to,
I was trying to be a friend.
Yeah, I was being a friend. I was trying to relate to this individual.
Right.
But it's like that was a silly ass way to try to relate to this person. Like you practically almost just killed the guy.
Right.
And I say that because when somebody does say that N-word or whatever the case, what happens is you have some people like myself who just pretty much look at it like, okay, you're very ignorant. So
right.
If you obviously feel like you have to use an insult to be down or whatever the case, you're ignorant. You could have that.
Mm-hmm. You
could have that. Versus, I'm a lot older now, so I can't slap anybody, man.
Right. Yeah, it's a little different.
I can't give somebody a body blow. I can't do any of that.
Right.
Because in all honesty, it's an equivalent to somebody having an insulin shock, because when you actually do get violent to that in that capacity, what happens is everybody pulls out their phones.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Everybody pulls their phones out. And it's almost like by the time your story actually gets heard, it'll be 15 years later.
Yep.
Those same people who recorded this and posted it on social media and criminalized what you did, their kids will be in high school by the time your story actually gets heard.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it gets to the point that if they don't kill you in the Erie County Holding Center first,
Right.
If or whatever the case, yeah. If they don't if that doesn't happen, but it gets to the point to where something gets real crazy. You know, you kind of look at it like, damn, like this is nuts that you get upset and you say this type of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Social media. I was a caveman, you know, as far as I'm still am in many different capacities as far as when it comes to the functions of social media. But what I do understand is it's actually shown me it's shown me something about people that I seen it back then, but it was so covert, you kind of had to look at it twice.
Mm-hmm.
I look at it one time on social media, whatever the case, and I instantly know, okay, this is who this person actually is.
Right.
The virtual them is a reflection of who they really are.
Yep.
You actually look at their friends list. They may have 50 friends who are good people who don't use racial insults and stuff like that on social media. They may have 2,000 friends who are some of the most racist, most hateful motherfuckers in the world.
Right.
And it's like, you look like, wow, like that's crazy. So this says a lot about you. Like,
right.
As far as me as a person, I wouldn't be friends with somebody who likes to go out and commit hate crimes.
No, not at all.
You know, like of any sort, or even likes to throw out hate speech as far as disrespect to somebody based on their, you know, their gender, sexual orientation, or their race. However, though, what I will say is, everybody else can be accepted for what they are, but until this day, I cannot go anywhere. I'm pretty sure you still experience this too.
Mm-hmm.
Cannot go anywhere without somebody feeling like he's gonna rob me. And the irony is, like, though I don't, you know, endorse or authorize what a lot of people talk about in their music, I can understand, like, what they're talking about. Like, I'll actually listen to what they're saying. And a lot of them are really just, they're telling their story or whatever the case. A lot of them are frustrated. A lot of these younger artists are pretty much 17, 18, 19, 20.
Right.
They're frustrated. They haven't really, I'm not going to say they don't know how to really calm down and articulate their frustrations in a mature way. Sometimes they do. But it's like at the same time, you ever seen Coach Carter?
Yeah.
Okay, sure. Remember when he was diplomatic all the way up until the guy spit on his window. Remember that?
Right. Yep.
So it's like
Switch.
he was about maturity and articulating stuff, you know, articulating his feelings and stuff like that. Until what happened? The guy spit on his window. Was the first thing he said. Oh, hell nah.
Yeah. So
it's like everybody has that breaking point.
Right.
Us being older and more experienced and more seasoned or whatever the case, we happen to have thicker skin.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, a lot of the younger people, I can't really judge them too much because I'll listen to their lyrics and I'll read about what Christopher Columbus did, and I'm just like, damn, who's worse?
Right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like people will talk about Chief Keef. People will talk about how violent a lot of the Chicago rappers are. People will even talk about how violent a lot of Buffalo rappers are and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, damn, like that's crazy.
You ever listen to country? You ever read the country lyrics, the fucking like song titles? This shit is wild. They're not like all like, oh, I got bales of hay.
Yeah,
no, I'm off out here giving up crazy in Kentucky.
Yeah, you're right. No. You're right. I agree.
Yeah.
It gets to the point to where, like, you ever heard of a local group? They're in Buffalo. They're called SMG. K Pistol, Shots 4-5.
Oh, I've heard of K Pistol. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you have people who might feel like, well, he's promoting drug rap and stuff like that, and it's like, huh? Or he's promoting violence, and it's like, you seen what happens at a heavy metal concert, right?
Right.
I am positive. I've never been to an SMG concert due to my work schedule. However, I am positive they have never cut a fucking animal's head off.
Oh
shit! Threw it throughout the goddamn crowd.
Oh, that's crazy. That's not at all where I thought you were going with that.
So, how in the hell are they violent? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
that's wild. I've never seen anybody get kicked in the face roundhouse style at a rap concert.
Exactly.
Or punched in the mouth ever.
And if they
you see it all the time at metal shows.
Man.
Every time.
When's the last time?
I was like,
when's the last time?
Y'all niggas wildin'.
How many times have you seen them take? How many times have you basically seen them take a guitar, a perfectly crafted guitar, right?
Mm-hmm.
Take it,
and
bang it all over the stage.
Yeah.
Might even set it on fire.
Yeah.
When's the last time DMX set fire to a pair of Timberland boots and beat the hell out of somebody with them?
Right.
Never.
Or just threw a mic down and destroyed it.
Right. Like
you might do this one time.
Right.
I'm ill.
Right, but
I'm done.
that's hip hop.
Right.
Right. Nobody's being assaulted. Nobody's being hurt. And you kind of look at this like, damn, like, are these artists violent, or is it that you guys just want to label them in a way that makes them look like criminals?
There you go.
Thugs and gang. Because it's like, let's be honest, man. Real gangsters don't carry guns.
They move in silence also.
They move in silence. And what a gangster does, the guy on the street corner, he's not the gangster. You know what a gangster is? The guy who's the gangster is, he just woke up on a Tuesday and just thought, you know what? I'm gonna take my pen and I'm gonna sign my signature on something. That's gonna kick your grandmother off the street.
Yeah.
And out of the house that she's owned for 45 years with your granddad.
Yeah, it's gangster as fuck.
Just because, yeah, right. Just because I don't even know what I want to put there yet.
Right.
Just because I want it empty, just so I can think about what I want to put there.
Right.
I'm gonna do it and I'm gonna put it in effect.
Mm-hmm.
That's what gangster is.
Right.
Somebody who actually watch the news and watch these people crying about certain stuff, and they will laugh like, oh, well, I don't give a damn. Like, you know what? I'm gonna tear down 5 more houses just because not enough people are sad about this.
Right.
So it's like, that's what a gangster actually is.
Great breakdown.
What Columbus did, much appreciated. A gangster.
For sure. One of the most gangster motherfuckers ever.
That's some gangster shit.
It's the most gangster shit of all time.
So it's like,
if you think about it.
Right. So it's like you're trying to tell me, how are your K Pistols? How are your Griseldas? How is anybody who talks about a certain type of lifestyle or whatever the case, how in the hell are they violent?
Right.
They're talking about something.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's crazy. Prime example. People will call Mike Tyson a crazy person. He was extremely violent and stuff like that, right?
Right.
For one, he boxes. He was a boxing champion.
It's kind of his job.
Right. It's his job to talk shit before he punches you in the face.
Right. Break your jaw once.
Right.
Bite your ear off.
Bill Romanowski. You remember Bill Romanowski for the Oakland Raiders, right?
I do not. I'm not familiar.
Okay, number 53 for the Oakland Raiders. One of the dirtiest motherfucking players in the game. Has never once been referred to as violent.
Wow.
Never once.
Sounds white.
Cheap shots, late hits, all kinds of foul shit.
Mm-hmm.
Has never once been referred to as violent. I'm like, that's crazy as hell. But a championship boxer who was talking shit is violent. Like, he has anger problems and, you know, stuff like that. It's like, this is
even in the same arena of football.
Right.
Dominican Sue.
Right.
Dirty ass player.
Mm-hmm.
Violent as hell.
Right.
But this other guy, Bill, I never even heard of his name before. I just started watching football, like,
right.
You know, not like yesterday, but
right.
As a young kid, I was more into like Pokemon and shit.
Okay.
Not gonna lie.
Okay. And
so I wasn't in the sports for real.
That's cool. I was into Pokemon as a kid.
Yeah,
Pokemon, Digimon, Yu-Gi-Oh. Shit. I mean, hell,
that was the shit back in the day.
Yo, I was a kid. I had friends who used to draw that shit. So yeah, hell yeah, I was into the same shit.
Right.
It's crazy to me because we're violent for practically just being verbal.
Right.
Like, if I talk about something that I see or whatever the case, and I happen to talk about it in a way to where I express my frustration about the situation that occurred.
Mm-hmm.
The song might be 4 minutes, right?
Right.
The first 10 bars of that record, I might express what I seen and what happened, right? For the remaining 6 bars, I may express my frustration about what I just conveyed to the people that's listening. By the time the second verse and the third verse comes into play, nobody will hear it because we have people who pretty much are so fixated on taking that one little part.
Mm-hmm.
And
soundbite.
Oh yeah.
Cancel them.
Oh yeah, quickly.
Yeah.
Quickly. They'll pick and they'll probe at this one little part. They'll basically do they'll have surgery. They'll do a surgery on your words.
Right.
And it's like, damn, like they'll cut this and they'll insert this and they'll stitch it up with what they want you to think.
Right.
They'll know what you're talking about, but
yep.
Because we have a younger audience or whatever the case, we want them to think you meant this. And it's like, damn, like that's crazy. The rest of the song might actually bring clarity with why you felt this way or whatever the case, because you might get deeper into those 10 bars. You might start talking about it more. Who were these people to you?
Mm-hmm. Who's
responsible for this occurring the way it happened?
Right.
Who's responsible for helping this person or being basically Who's responsible for saving this person? Who was the blame for what happened to these people who you express some type of concern for, and some type of anger about what happened with them? Nobody will hear that. They will even take the hook and they'll try to make it a violent thing. Like, oh, well. You ever notice when somebody gets shot unjustly, they'll go to their Facebook profile, all their social media profiles, mind you. Somebody got shot one particular time, and I actually took the liberty to actually go on their social media profile, right?
Yeah. They
had various different pictures of them not being what they call aggressive at all. And I'm just like, this is interesting. So the picture you take was of the guy not smiling, like.
Of course, yeah. It's always to paint somebody who, like you said, was unjustly killed.
Oh yeah.
In the worst light.
Oh yeah.
But let it be somebody else. It'd be like the most clean picture.
Yeah.
Even a mass murderer, most clean picture. He was insane.
Man,
I can't believe. I don't know what happened.
Crazy. They'll have the lady.
You know what I mean? Like that's disgusting.
They'll have the damn lady at his church he used to go to, talking about how he was as a kid.
Right. As a kid. Right. Exactly.
He was great. He could read the Bible backwards.
Who fucking cares? This motherfucker just lit up a movie theater.
Yeah, like he used to have visions and stuff like that. He just killed like 70 people.
Right.
About practically nothing.
Right.
I could give a damn about how well he can memorize a Bible.
Right.
Who cares?
Right.
If you even look at like the Joker, they'll say like, not smiling indicates that you're upset and things of that nature. The Joker will smile and blow a fucking building up.
Yeah. With the biggest grin.
Man. And then have a dance.
Right.
Even like
dance on your shit.
Yeah, like man. As kids, they showed us nothing but violence. What they programmed us with as children was violence. Tom and Jerry.
Right.
They would just play music and just violence.
Damn.
Some of the most violent shit you could think of would happen within that cartoon.
That's a fact.
You don't realize it until you get older and you sit back and you actually watch it on YouTube because, you might be feeling nostalgic. And you're like, damn, like, yo, this is crazy. He drops a piano on him. Damn. 30 seconds later, he shot him. Damn, like, yo, this is nuts.
Right.
Like, this is the wildest thing. Like, who sat here and actually pieced this together?
You ever see the new cartoons?
No.
I wouldn't recommend any kid watch these new cartoons at all.
The stuff that's out now is so not for kids.
At all.
They
in there twerking, ass shaking, like.
I hear about that sort of stuff.
Like, it's on Cartoon Network. I used to watch Cartoon Network. Courage the Cowardly Dog, Powerpuff Girls, Dexter's Lab, Ed, Ed and Eddie, Gundam. All violent. Violent. There's all right.
Violent.
Everything was all violent.
Completely violent.
But it's like now it's sexualized.
Yeah.
Now I feel like it's pushing some other type of, you know what I mean? You put the violence out there, and now let's get the sexual in there.
Right.
And it's real weird because 5, 6, 7, 8-year-olds are watching this.
It is. We're at the point to where, you have it to where, okay.
Let's say this: the wildest sexual thing I saw as a kid on TV, was when I was supposed to be asleep.
Pretty much.
Oh, I accidentally turned to stars. Girls Gone Wild. Damn. Yeah. And it wasn't no nudity.
No.
Just like they were just out here like with the stars on their nipple, just like, oh my god. I'm just like,
they knew how to get that thought in your mind, like spinning, like damn.
Right.
You know what? I need to see that in real life.
Yeah, that's marketing. That's marketing 101.
Hell yeah.
Very easy to do.
Hell yeah.
Humans are so out the loop when it comes to like realizing what they're trying to do. Until you realize what they're trying to do, then everything is like, this is wild. This is a wild town.
Right. Seriously, it's crazy because even like the jokes on some of these shows, you'll kind of look at it like, damn, like you guys actually. R. Kelly's a sicko, in which he is.
He's nasty.
R. Kelly isn't the only one being nasty.
Of course not.
Because
he's just the one who's overtly being ridiculous.
Yeah, because it's like, I would never write a kid series and think of putting these types of jokes, sliding this in here. Something like adult humor in a kid show, that's sick.
Disney. You go back to Disney, like Mickey Mouse when he for Steamboat Willie. That's just crazy.
Yeah,
that stuff was crazy.
Yeah. It's
and like I don't know if you ever seen the gif of Mickey Mouse like putting the cheese and like putting holes in it with, you know what I mean,
right,
and putting it back on the conveyor belt.
Right,
That's a real cartoon. They didn't like make that.
No, hell
they
no.
That was back when Steamboat Willie first came out.
Right.
Hypersexualized, and then they toned it back a bit, made it more covert, hidden messages all through Disney movies.
Oh yeah. Hell, when we were kids, and remember when they used to tell us an apple a day keeps the doctor away?
Of course.
Okay. How many times do you remember going to a grocery store and they'll find a real sexy woman? Her breast won't be showing, but it'll be enough showing where you know she does not have on a shirt.
Mm-hmm.
And then they'll have her biting into an apple.
Right.
You didn't care about health.
Yeah, no, not at all.
you didn't care about keeping the doctor away.
Right.
You looked at her like, damn, who's that? Like,
there's a good example. One class I took in college, they were showing like different. I think it was photography class. They were like, now what are they trying to portray with these?
Mm-hmm.
It was a woman on a beach on one of them chairs.
Mm-hmm.
She was laying out in a bikini, obviously, with
Mm-hmm.
a Corona. It was a Corona ad.
Okay.
And guess what was over top of her?
What's that?
An airplane shadow going right into her mouth.
Wow.
What are you trying to convey? So Coronas that get you to the point where
that's
you know what I mean?
Right. That's exactly what they're trying to say. It's crazy.
Yeah. Once you open your eyes to what they're doing with these subliminal messages and this marketing stuff, it's real nasty.
Yeah, it is. And you kind of look at these people like, okay, R. Kelly is getting what he earned. What about you?
Right.
Because it's like, yeah, I get it. He's a sicko. People who view children in that manner as sickos.
Right.
What about you though? You know, like,
hey, what's your vice?
Yeah. It's like, because it's like, damn, like you obviously write this sick material and you market this to people who don't even understand what sex is.
Right.
You understand that a lot of parents should not have to have this conversation with their 8-year-olds and 9-year-olds.
Right. Definitely.
Because
especially not now.
Right.
Well, I mean, maybe you do have to nowadays.
You might have to now because there's so many people out here that's actually trying to take advantage of the fact that some kids' parents are pretty much like, if I catch you doing it, I'm gonna beat your ass. And it's like they're 8 years old, they're 9 years old.
Right.
If they're inquiring about something of this sort, you need to talk to them to make sure that there's nothing going on at school. Because one thing about kids who get molested, they'll go to school and molest other kids.
Right.
They'll go to school and be very sexual towards other children.
Mm-hmm.
You need to see what's going on. Or you want to see that, not saying that their teacher is doing this or whatever the case. I would hate to say that about any adult, but just generally speaking, how many cases have we heard of? It'll be a grown-ass woman or a grown-ass man. They're happily married, but they're an 8th grade teacher. And for some odd reason, you find out that they've been getting some and giving some.
Which is crazy.
From at least 5 to 10 different 8th graders.
Right.
We only know about the ones that they got caught for.
Right.
You'll talk to these kids when they get older, as they're like, seniors in high school. Oh yeah, like, him and him was doing this with,
with Miss So-and-so.
Yeah, like, you'd be looking like, damn, that's crazy.
And you step back and you realize as someone that's older, like maybe an 18-year-old who did go through that as a kid, it's like, yo, you got molested as a kid. And you don't even know it because you thought it was cool.
Mm-hmm.
That woman took advantage of you in a young state.
Right.
Nasty.
Oh, yeah. Then
that's why you got to, like, really be careful where you send your kids.
This is true.
Like, for me, example, when I was young, I didn't go to daycare. I was fortunate enough to have grandparents, and they would watch me.
Right.
So many kids go to daycare, get abused, get molested,
this is true.
Drugs, even.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Remember, I don't know if you remember back a couple years ago, they found this girl brought cocaine or meth or something like that to, like, her daycare here.
You know what's crazy? I've heard that story I've heard stories like that so many different times.
Yeah. That
I can't even tell you which one.
Right.
Because it's like, I hear that a lot.
Right.
It's either drugs or they bring a firearm.
Yeah. Yep.
You'll be like, damn, like, who in the hell are watching these kids?
Right. No one.
Like, right. Obviously, because it's like, this is crazy.
It's a sad state of affairs.
Oh, yeah. Like, you couldn't make it past your parents without them opening your bag to check your homework.
Mm.
So you kind of look like, damn, they made it to school with something that Pablo Escobar would give you on consignment for starters.
Right.
In their bag. like, damn, like, this is crazy.
Yeah. So I always have to reset that thing.
That's cool.
It's it only runs on. It runs for 30 minutes at a time. My boy Alex told me there's a way I could turn that off, but I didn't find it yet. Weird. Oh, excuse me.
No, that's cool.
Yeah, man. Wild world.
Yeah. Like the stuff that goes on, it's like you look at a lot of this stuff and it's like, damn, like I don't really care to really deal with this stuff in the world.
Right.
As far as like the festivities and things of that nature, it's like I don't like even going to clubs. It's like I don't want to. Like I do security.
Okay.
And I'll never bounce at a club. Don't care to. Because
why is that?
Basically,
is it because the like the social interaction part? You
not
move
so
that a little
much.
bit closer to you.
Yeah, not so much that, but it gets to the point to where it's like, as a black man in America, you have to always be smarter than what everybody expects you to be.
Right.
Everybody will expect you because you're a black man to be hyper aggressive, extremely impulsive. They expect these types of behaviors from you. So if I'm a guard, right, a bouncer, I'm an armed guard, why am I going to put myself in the predicament of shooting somebody? You know, because it's like self-defense for a black man in New York State. Let's be realistic. Self-defense for a black man in New York State is rare. So you're going to have to spend some time away from your family. And that's ultimately what this racist white supremacy shit was built off of, was tricking you out of the household.
Right.
So it's like,
right.
Instead of like, yeah, you should brandish a firearm to protect your house from intruders, which implies that you don't spend your time in the streets. You spend your time in the household.
Right.
That's completely a different dynamic because you can actually prove, hey, I'm protecting my wife and my children.
Right.
Or I'm protecting my children, or I'm protecting my woman. Like, you can prove that. Versus, you're at the damn club, you happen to have a gun, this, that, and the third thing. All that has to take, honestly, is one imaginary witness. I saw the armed guard doing this moments before that occurred. For them to take the narrative of drug deal going bad. These people at these court buildings, they don't operate off of guilty or innocent. They operate off of votes. That's it. I need to spin a narrative here. This guy up and coming, because they hear about who they're going to run against long before the public does.
Sure.
Like, damn, this guy is killing me in Kansas City. Like, they'll sit down and have these conversations. Like, damn, he's killing me in Boston. He's killing me in Jersey. Like, damn. What do I need to do to make this a situation of they need to really stop looking at him and look at me? I need to spin this narrative. I have this one imaginary witness. I'm going to spin the hell out of this narrative. It's a club. Somebody in there has drugs. I can find a way to spin this narrative. Even if I can have the police review a camera and I can link him to somebody who was either intoxicated or has drugs. I'm going to catch somebody doing a hand-to-hand, and I'm going to link them with that person off of a visual contact acknowledgement. I didn't see them do any kind of business with this person, but because of my position, there may be a judge that may hear what I'm trying to throw out there. And it's crazy because you'll actually go to jail. Even if they give you a minimum of 18 months. Your jacket is scarred with that shit.
For sure.
You know, and it's like, damn, like that's crazy.
Yeah.
The most precious, because everybody think that they attack black people as far as money. Or melanated people as far as money, pardon me. Melanated people are not economically broke. Everybody makes their big dime off of us.
Right. Strong man.
Like, you look at Black Friday. You look at all of these different events that they have. They make their dime off of us. You can go deep into the hood and you see the UPS man in the hood more than anything. Everybody is making their dime off of us. They get us with our timing because all I need to do is remove the father out of the household for a solid 18 months. That's enough time for me to make his son become exactly what I want him to be in at least 5 to 10 different archetypes of what I wanted him to be.
Mm-hmm.
Because then I understand that I have different angles where I can trap his son up with and keep the cycle going. I keep the cycle going. Okay,
Right.
when he gets home in 18 months, resentment is going to turn to constant disrespect. Constant disrespect. What happens? He's going to eventually kick his son out the house.
Right.
If his son's not dead by the time he comes home, or if he does come home or whatever the case, and his son or whatever the case is that out of control, he has to give his son over to the system.
Right.
Because, hey, you're not listening. I have to send you to an alternative school. You're not listening. I have to put you in juvie.
Right.
So now what ultimately happens is he's dealing with the same experience that his dad just got done dealing with.
Right.
We got him early. This is exactly what we wanted. The son was the target all along. We just needed to get you out the way for a minute.
Right.
We needed to get our target tender. Now we could put him in the oven. We could start the preheating process now. Basically, once he's done with the preheating process and he's done baking or whatever the case, when something's done baking in the oven, you slice it and you eat it, right?
Right.
America is different. America puts you in the oven, and when you're done, okay, cool. Then they throw you in the deep fryer. They have no intentions on eating you at all.
Right.
They're gonna cook you various different types of ways. Then they're gonna throw you in the garbage. They wouldn't even feed you to a dog.
Right.
They'll throw you in the garbage now. Now we can start doing this. We have many different recipes.
I hope everybody gets these metaphors. I really do, because it's real deep. You should rewind this, like 5 minutes back and just go back and really listen. What he's saying is, they'll put you through all types of, adversity.
Pretty much.
And then instead of, taking you for what you are, we're just going to discard you.
Right.
So other people can see you have been discarded.
Oh, yeah.
And then that's in their head.
Oh, yeah.
Conditioning.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Because it gets to the point. Look at the exonerated 5. You understand that, man, those guys will never psychologically be the same.
Ever. And no one will ever look at them like they're supposed to either.
No.
Because in people's minds, like you just said, people have been conditioned to see these people as what they said they were.
Right.
And it's over for them. Socially, it's over.
Right.
At this point, all they can do is do talks and be like, this was a terrible thing. Fight the system, maybe.
Right. Which
not a lot out there for ex-cons.
This is, what the crazy part is, too? Exonerated people still have to identify as ex-cons.
Right.
That's crazy.
Right.
That's crazy, because it's like, damn, like, they have to say, I was once guilty for being innocent.
Right.
Like,
come on.
This is crazy. So, somebody who actually, like, cool, if I'm a judge, and I give you 20 years for a crime that you did not do, 20 years later, I find out you didn't do it. There's no consequences for me.
Right.
Not one consequence. I don't have to do 20 years mandatory in general population.
Right.
I could just pretty much go to a damn counseling session and take a leave of absence at work.
Yo, 20 years is crazy. When you sit there and think about how long 20 years is, even 10, even 18 months.
Yeah, for something you did not do.
What?
For something you did not do.
20 years?
Right.
Bro, I'm only 25. So you just tell me, like, when I was 5, you went in, and now that I'm doing these podcasts, you just came out?
Right.
You know how much life is out here?
Right.
That's,
Right.
I don't think people really understand when they...
Right.
When people go away like that.
Right.
Like the 6ix9ine thing, for example. Bro, gave all them people helly years. What did Shotty get? 25 years, something like that.
I don't follow.
He's never coming back. Like any of those people. I'm just saying, like in general, for like any type of prison sentence, that shit is wild.
Yeah, it is.
And people are like, bro, obviously 20 years is a long time, but you're not understanding. Like there's so much that could be done in 20 years.
Right.
You're not just gonna lay up for 20 years.
No.
You could have built an empire in 20 years.
Oh yeah, they know this. This is why.
Yeah, and that's why they do it.
They have to hit you with time. Like I said, if you have any kids, like when I was talking about a guy with a son. Prime example. I'm a man with 2 daughters, right? If something was to happen or whatever the case, to where they make up some BS way to take me away from my girls, there's a very big chance that I could be coming home to when I left, they were daddy's little princesses.
Right.
Now that I'm coming home, they're bad bitches and nasty little prostitutes that occupy these street corners.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like, or they're nasty little Instagram models with $5 premium packages.
Right.
Just out here living foul because though I can't raise you through letters, phone calls, and visits.
Right.
They know this.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They completely know this.
Mm-hmm.
So to try to raise you through those three, eventually you're not going to want to hear nothing.
Right.
You're not going to want to actually even want to read a letter because it's going to be to the point to where this system will make your kids so aggravated with you. To even see your name on something will piss them off.
Right.
Piss them off completely. Get that damn letter out of my face. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yo.
he was cool when I was 8.
Right.
Like
this motherfucker been locked up for damn 20 years.
Like,
you gonna tell me about some dad?
Right.
I've been doing this on my own.
Right.
That's what they want.
Oh yeah.
That's what they want.
Think about how many men that have been exonerated that have children. The news shows you how happy the family is when they're getting out.
Right.
You know what the news won't show you? The news won't show you how this man has to basically try to reteach his kids. He has to think about through all the shit he done been through, right? He has to think about where he left off at when he was raising his kids. Mm. He has to get up to date. Then he has to basically break everything down for his kids to understand as adults.
Right.
They don't show you that part.
Right.
They don't show you the son who doesn't give a damn what his father got to say.
Right.
Because he's been manipulated to hate his dad for being out of his life, for being incarcerated for a crime he didn't commit.
Right.
They don't show you the little girl who basically has a hard time bonding with her dad because he's been locked up. He interacts differently with her.
Right.
Now that he's been locked up or whatever the case. They don't show you that. They don't show you that at all.
Yeah, that prison shit changes not only you, but the whole family.
Oh, yeah. And people will sit there and say stuff like, oh, well, you know, he can just get back on his feet. And it's like...
No, he can't. You know how hard that is? Like one of the harder things, I would say.
Right.
I've never been to prison, but I know people who have been to prison.
Right. Because of this,
yeah,
there's an actual restriction on things I can recuperate from.
Right.
Actual restriction. It's crazy. Somebody who might have been on Wall Street doing all kinds of crazy shit can get hit with 18 months and 5 years of post-supervision, post-release supervision or whatever the case. Mm-hmm. You understand that within 3 years, they can grace the cover of a magazine. They could be on the talk show. Mm-hmm. Hell, they can even write a book about their experience and do it again.
Right.
Like, they can do it again.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because it's like me, you, anybody who happens to look like us or whatever the case, it gets to the point to where it's like a jaywalking situation could turn into something crazy.
Right.
Could turn into something very, very crazy. Honestly, I think like everybody says that the world is missing love. The world is missing respect. Mm. Like respect is a big thing because a lot of people are very quick to use a position that they get into to disrespect people.
Right.
They have to use their authority to disrespect people. They have to say something out of pocket to somebody. They have to bump somebody or whatever the case. And when somebody turns around and reacts normally about it, like, you know, like to see what's going on, because obviously you just initiated physical contact of some sort with them. They'll point at their badge or they'll call for backup or they'll do something to remind you that, hey, I have authority. And basically because I have this authority, you ain't shit to me.
Right. For sure.
Like, I'm up here. You? I can look down and I still wouldn't see you because that's how many of y'all are beneath me.
Right.
That's the mentality nowadays with people. Mm-hmm. And when I say authority, whether it be a police badge, hell, fashion will even make people feel like this.
Of course.
Fashion will make people feel like this.
Your teacher.
Oh, yeah.
Anybody who is a higher authority than you has some type of power over you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. They'll abuse that to the nth degree.
Man.
A manager.
Yeah.
A supervisor. Like, bro.
This is true. Very true.
Yeah.
A supervisor will call you off the clock and they will say some of the craziest stuff to you. Not as far as like, they may not swear at you, they may not yell at you, but their choice of words.
And the tone.
Yeah. The tonality in their choice of words will be crazy. You'll be like, what? Like, this is nuts. Like, look, I'm off the clock, but that's not how you talk to people.
Right.
Just period. You don't talk to people that way. That's crazy. we live in, I don't know, we just happen to live in a society to where also social media platforms are not used for networking. Social media platforms are more so used for arguing.
Right.
Like, if you happen to post an artist who I happen to not agree with, or happen to not like their content, I would either say, I would for one, I would find some songs of theirs that I may like. I don't focus on what I don't like about something when I see it. I'll be like, okay, well, you know what? I like this artist content around these times in their careers.
Right.
You have people who will actually say something like, this person is, you know, ABC, and anybody who disagrees with me can SMD or something crazy. And it's like, that's silly.
Right.
That's like,
I see that every day.
Yeah. Like,
I'm sure you see it all the time.
All the time. Like, you know how a lot of people will say that the younger generation is just, they're lost, right? All right, cool. The people who say that the younger generation, they'll say the younger generation is lost, right?
Sure.
Okay. They'll say that they're lost because they're drinking, they're smoking, because they may wear their pants a certain way, right? Aren't these the same people who told us growing up that Bill Clinton was the closest thing we had to a black president?
Right. Didn't
they say Bill Clinton was synonymous to a black man?
Right. Yep. And like, look at the behavior of Bill Clinton.
So it's like,
wow, that's fucked up.
Like,
that's what you think?
Yeah, exactly. Like, you actually look at this like,
okay,
wow. So, damn, like, he has to be synonymous to a black man because he got oral.
Right.
He got fellatio at work. Like, he has to be synonymous to a black man. Like, this is crazy.
Right.
That makes him synonymous to a black man.
Right.
Like, sheesh. All he did was one thing to become synonymous to a black man.
Yo, and we embraced that at the time. We was like, yo, close thing you can get to a black president.
Yeah.
Bill Clinton.
Because
everybody was saying that. Well, not everybody, but the majority.
Cedric the Entertainer. I think Cedric is funny as hell.
A lot of comedians said
Kings
that.
of Comedy. He said it.
Yeah.
We didn't have a black president. We had Clinton. He was close.
Right.
This is the same generation who is looking at these generations of people who are wearing Yeezys and stuff like that, who are, you're calling somebody lost based off of their clothing, based off of the fact that they smoke weed or they do pills or whatever it is.
Music choice, yeah.
Right. I'm looking at it like this. There is no way in hell that you could tell me that this generation is lost and you guys are Rick James fans.
Right.
He blatantly told you himself cocaine is a hell of a drug.
Right.
Blatantly told you himself. Yeah, exactly. Cocaine is a hell of a drug. It's like you.
Definitely, actually, yeah.
Curtis Mayfield, Pusha Man, baddest bitches in the bed.
Yeah.
These kids, all they talk about is bad bitches. Are you serious?
Go back, yeah. It's like, go back and do your Googles, my guy.
You know, it's like you can't keep saying that these things make them lost. This is an extensified version of everything that gave you pleasure when you were their ages.
Right.
So instead of actually trying to talk to them to where you can level with them, you talk to them as if, or you talk about them as if you have this superiority over them. It's like, no, you're just like them. I'm gonna give you an example. One particular time, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm leaving Tim Hortons. There was a girl at Canisius College or whatever the case. She happened to be jogging. Okay. An older guy who had to be maybe, just upon appearance, I would give him maybe, I don't know, 39.
Sure.
Roughly 39 or whatever the case.
Sure.
He says, damn, she has a fat ass.
Mm.
A 17-year-old guy says to his friend, he said, damn, she got cakes.
Right.
These young boys is disrespectful. I'm like, wow, that's crazy.
He said that?
Yeah.
Oh, he's crazy.
I'm
that's
like,
wild.
I'm like,
that's what?
I'm like, this is nuts. Listen, he said it to his friend, and I happened to hear him.
Right.
The young lady who was jogging, you said it so loud. You said it. You intentionally said it at a certain volume to get her attention.
Right.
If anything, I could look at it as, okay, he's not as blatant or as disrespectful as you are.
Right.
He acknowledged what was obvious. She was well endowed from the back.
Right.
Hey.
Amongst his peers.
Right.
You out here broadcasting to the whole store.
Right. You're roughly 39 years old and you shout this. How was he disrespectful?
Oh, so he shouted it, the kids said it, and then he went and said, y'all disrespectful?
He was basically, as he was walking, he said, these young boys are just disrespectful. And I'm like, mind you, we all happen to be This is the stuff that.
Hey, what Tim Hortons was that, man?
The Tim Hortons the Tim Hortons within Canisius College.
Oh.
I was leaving that Tim Hortons. You know how there's always women jogging and
always
stuff like
I
that.
used to live over there, actually.
Right. There's women jogging and stuff like that. I just happened to. I'm like, damn, like I just had a taste for a coffee. And I didn't feel like running the 7-Eleven, so I'm like, let me just run the Tim Hortons, you know.
Yeah.
Get this addictive triple.
Uh-huh.
And, you know.
The triple though.
Yeah.
Oof.
It's, man, addictive. Highly addictive. Highly addictive.
Yeah, man. I used to be a tea fiend for them back in Triple C.
Oh, man.
We had one up there every day. You know, large tea. Go right back to the studio. I was like, I'm doing good because I'm drinking tea with mad sugar in it, not coffee with mad sugar in it. No, you still drinking mad sugar.
Oh yeah. Like now, I just drink my coffee just straight black now.
Yeah, for sure. You like the 7-Eleven coffee?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Oh yeah.
I never tried it.
Yeah.
I was always scared, like the stigma of gas station. You know what I mean? Like as a young kid, like he would get stuff from the gas station, like wild shit, like taquitos and food, and it was like, yo,
Takis.
you're Takis or the little hot things, a roll,
Yeah,
hot dogs, nacho cheese.
Yeah.
Now, absolutely not.
Nah,
I couldn't do it. I've heard too many stories. There's this one story, this guy who almost died from botulism from eating nacho cheese out the gas station.
Oh damn.
Yeah, because they didn't the temperatures, and they got 10-year-olds working at 7-Eleven who don't know what food preparation is.
Wow.
So that's why personally I couldn't do it nowadays.
Right.
But the coffee, I don't know, I might have to try it one day.
Oh yeah.
If you say it's good, I'm gonna have to try it.
Oh yeah.
I do love the Tim Hortons and the Starbucks. I'm a fucking Starbucks fiend. For the
Yeah.
tea.
For
tea.
Yeah. Tea.
I mean, tea.
Everybody
like
has
one episode.
Everybody has their vices. You know, mine might be coffee, yours might be tea.
Right.
Somebody might go there for the Tivanas.
Right.
You might have some people.
Tivana's fire.
Man, it is. You might have somebody who gets a Tivana, opens the cap, and dumps a couple bags of sugar in there and shakes it up. And you know they might like it like that.
Yeah.
You know, it's crazy though. Like I honestly feel like a lot of stuff as far as just accepting people and things of that nature and respecting people's views. This is really what this is. People don't want to do this because a lot of people feel as though these are my views, and if you have a view that's contrary to my views, this some kind of way makes you a bad person. How? If I happen to like cashew butter and jelly and you happen to like peanut butter and jelly, it doesn't make me a bad person.
Right.
It doesn't make you a bad
weird
person. Right. We just prefer different choices.
Dog, I might be allergic to peanut butter. That's why I have cashew butter. You're crazy.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right,
It's different.
Right.
Yeah.
It's one of those things to where it's, I don't know, man, because you kind of look at it and it's like in the record No Pressure. You can't tell me nothing's fundamentally wrong when even old niggas act like young niggas more than young niggas in their songs. It's like this is crazy. Like this is ridiculous.
I like that tie back to the music.
Yeah.
For sure.
This is what all of this is a reflection of. It's
right.
Like people will sit there and say like, well, you know, these young kids just talk about this and that. And it's like, okay, well, listen. For one, let's not acknowledge people who are old enough to be charged as adults by the state as kids, for one.
Right.
A lot of people don't like to really hear that too much from me, but it's like, these are not kids. And the reason that they may behave like this is because you refer to them as such. I get it. Like,
definitely.
Okay, what they're doing is blatant. Like, oh, well, they're showing real guns. Have you ever reached out to them to actually show them how to go about getting prop guns for their videos?
Right.
Like, no. You'll sit there, you'll throw rocks at them all day.
Sure.
They're stupid. It's that the third thing.
Villainize them.
Yeah, like it's like, damn, like, well,
help me.
Yeah. Are you emailing them? Are you putting them in contact with somebody who has prop guns?
Right.
If you're not doing that, you shouldn't comment.
Right.
You know? And mind you, these will be people, I'm not talking about mainstream people. These will be local people who they know. You might go to the same barbershop as this guy. You might have just bumped into him at Save-A-Lot. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
You might have just seen him at Aldi's on Minnesota. You might have just got them telling them it's a dope video.
Yeah, yep.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, that's crazy. Like,
it's a lot of fake going on.
It is. And it's to the
real
point
sad.
where
it's not helping anybody.
Right.
My last episode, it was with Sun Visuals. And he said, yo, be real with your friends.
Right.
One more time, be real with your friends.
Right.
Because being fake with people isn't helping anything.
No.
If you don't like a message they're sending, you say, yo, that was hard. Bro, you're just perpetuating it. Oh, that was hard? Word. Let me go make 11 more of those.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it never stops.
Right.
So being real with everybody you meet, I think, is a real requirement nowadays.
Right. And it's to the point to where people, like, cool. A lot of people just really look at stuff and they just always have to look at it. It's always an angle or opportunity for them to kiss ass.
Right.
No matter what. Like, it's like, damn, like, this is crazy. Like, their friend might have a pill addiction.
Mm-hmm.
And instead of them saying, hey, like, mind you, they'll talk about that friend who has a pill addiction.
Behind her
like,
back.
Yeah, like,
yep.
they'll be like, yo, that my motherfucker is crazy.
Right.
Yo, I watched him clear Walgreens out. Like, damn, like, or shit, I watched him, like, damn near die.
Yeah.
You won't get this man any help.
Right.
You won't sit down with this man or whatever the case and say, hey, listen, you ever want to get clean? I'm in your corner.
Right.
You'll never reach out to this guy's family and say, hey, we need to come up with a plan because the friend who I knew before the pills is disappeared.
Right.
He's turning into somebody who he's gonna basically die once he becomes this person. Once he finally becomes this person fully, he's gonna be dead.
I know of a lot of overdose cases.
Right.
And in every single one of them, there was a host of people around them who knew about this that did nothing.
Right.
So I even said that in a round. I was like, to this point, I'm pissed off because,
right.
Like, I always try to uplift people.
Right.
Suicide, any of that stuff mental health is huge, and people aren't really paying attention to it.
Right.
So I try to be some type of beacon.
Right.
But if you're hanging around 100 people, me being that one drop in the water, seeing you like 5 times a year isn't going to help anything.
No. The crazy part
people
is
cry over deaths of overdoses, but then they didn't help them when they were alive.
Right.
And I even said that in a song once.
Oh yeah.
Like that's nasty, man.
It is.
A lot of friends lost to overdoses and stuff like that. It's really nasty. Yeah.
It's crazy because not even to cut you off, bro, but
no, you're good.
It's such a it's such a wide topic because you look at it to where it's like, yes, the choice is ultimately up to them to change, to stop using and stuff like that. Yes, I agree. However, nobody even tells, if most people know that somebody actually gives a damn, they'll slow down.
Right. It'll be in the back of their head.
Right,
like, yo, if I keep going and die, so-and-so might be fucked up behind this.
Like there's ways that having a daughter has slowed me down as far as, not slowed me down as far as in the capacity of progression, but slowed me down as far as in the capacity of what I would do if I didn't have my daughter.
Right.
As far and not even in a sense of putting my hands on somebody or doing something that would be labeled as criminal. I just mean, like, just prime example. Money. $100 might have been, I don't know, hell, you knew me back then. I smoked a lot of weed back then.
Right.
Like, so it's like, even like before I had my baby girl and stuff like that, like it might have been weed, it might have been a Black and Mild, it might have been alcohol, I had my vices. Versus now, like, okay, you know what? Let me not do that. I don't want my kid around me and I'm drunk all the damn time.
Right.
Let me, instead of getting 2 bottles, let me get 1 special occasion bottle, put it
away, yeah.
Let me take my baby girl out for some ice cream, or let's go have a daddy-daughter dinner or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Something to that effect. The problem with people is they don't think about it as the process of slowing this person down to gradually get them to separate from poor choices. They think that because I'm talking to you about it on Tuesday at 6:00 p.m., by 6:05 p.m. on this same Tuesday, you're supposed to make a complete change.
Right.
It doesn't happen that way.
No.
Does not happen that way. Tell me one construction worker you've actually seen build a whole damn plaza within a week.
Right.
Within a business day. It doesn't happen that way. And it's not going to happen.
Yeah, life isn't, at the snap of a finger. It's gradual.
Exactly. Somebody has to actually look at it like, okay, for one, they have to understand that they have a problem. You can't make somebody, see, if I'm making somebody realize that they have a problem, I'm bringing it to them that they have a problem, whatever the case, as far as it being drug usage. I'm not gonna say, hey, you have a problem, and then I'm gonna say you're a piece of shit and you're this, and like, I'm not gonna verbally beat the hell out of you,
right,
with your problem,
right,
after I just put the problem on the table.
Oh, you're good. You can keep talking. That's just the video part.
Oh wow,
yeah,
wow.
Yeah.
I'm thinking it's paused.
Oh yeah,
okay,
no, this all runs through the Avid. Here you go.
Dope. But it becomes a thing where it's like, this person has to acknowledge the problem. They have to figure out, okay, how can I fix this? You know, I need to pretty much do something about this in particular. Okay, where do I start? Because it's pretty much like, if you wanted to do some cleaning, right? That's the first thing you would think about. Where in the hell do I start?
Right.
Like, damn, like, I know I can't start vacuuming first. I would love to vacuum, but I can't start vacuuming first. Like, damn, where do I start? Like, I got to shine the windows up. I got to clean those off. I got to clean the mirrors. Like, but where would I actually start at? Because you have to understand that, because these people have consumed so much substances or whatever the case, that their mind, for one, if they've consumed these substances or whatever the case, their mind is, it might be in a cloudy place.
You're scatterbrained.
Oh yeah.
I don't know what to start, and I couldn't tell you or even begin to think about where to start.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's about, even if you tell this person, if you know that this person uses, like, they use a lot of codeine, a lot of Xanax, anything.
Which for some reason is real rampant in our culture right now.
Yeah, very rampant. It's crazy.
I don't understand. Like, I don't think people understand what that stuff really is. You're drinking cough syrup. Cough syrup, bro. Cough syrup?
Oh, yeah.
Have you seen what cough syrup is? A syrup.
Yeah.
So therefore, that sticky bullshit is in you.
Oh, yeah.
Or you might mix it with Sprite or whatever the fuck else, but...
Sprite, alcohol, all sorts of stuff.
Mixing with alcohol is crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It is. It's nuts. We happen to live in a time and age where this stuff is like, it is. It's rampant to the point to where it's like, people are missing the point. Like, these kids are stupid. And it's like, no, they're not so much stupid.
Just misguided.
Completely.
Like, look at who one of the most popular rappers of this decade told you sipping syrup and popping pills was the coolest shit ever.
Lil Wayne.
I wasn't even thinking Wayne. I was thinking Future.
Okay.
Because even Juice WRLD, you know, rest in peace, Juice WRLD, he actually, as a story, he went up to Future and was like, yo, you got me on pills from your music, so thank you. He died because of pills. Future, when he said that, it was like, damn. He like apologized. He was like, I'm sorry. Lil Pump.
Right.
You know, I'm saying these names because like these rappers glorify the pill usage in their past music or something like that.
This is true.
But where can it be stemmed from? These kids aren't like, they're not our age. They're like 19-year-olds.
Right.
So their favorite rapper was Future. Their favorite rapper was Wayne.
Oh yeah. You ever heard of a record called Purple Rain by UGK and Beanie Siegel?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, even back then, but like the volume.
Yeah, today's kids don't even know who the hell Beanie Siegel is.
Right.
Outside of Paper Soldiers.
And Beanie's a legend.
Yeah.
I would say.
Yeah, legendary MC. Was just here, matter of fact, promoting his book, Loyalty and Deceit.
Was he really?
Yeah. Dope ass book, by the way.
Damn. It's a biography?
No. Just it happens to be like a urban fiction.
Oh, okay.
Dope ass book.
Oh.
Dope book.
Okay.
Yeah. People will look at it or whatever the case, like they talked about this, him and UGK or whatever the case. These kids don't know anything about that. However, there has to be some rappers from our generation or whatever the case, as you know, we were kids who they dropped it, they picked it up, they talked about it, made it cool, like your Waynes and stuff like that.
Right.
And now it's starting to trickle down to, you know, your Futures and things of that nature. A lot of that stuff, man, it's crazy. I just think that people, you know, have to stop being so damn anal towards like the youth and stuff like that, because a lot of them, they genuinely don't know.
Right.
A lot of them genuinely don't know. Then you have some that know, don't give a damn, but that boils down to it's good and bad and everything. It's blatant and unintentional in everything. So it doesn't necessarily demonize them, you know. Like, I think it's crazy that a lot of people, if a former drug dealer turned activist got into some trouble, everybody would kind of fight for this person.
Right. Excuse me.
If a young kid or whatever the case they're blatant or whatever the case, they'll kind of just be like, oh, well, they'll write him off. And it's like, that's silly.
Right.
You don't want to really write this guy off.
Because at one point, your activist was that kid.
Right. This is Malcolm X.
Excuse me.
Malcolm X. No, you're good. It's Malcolm X. He was in the substance abuse long before the nation. So it's like, you can't really hate who that guy was, because that guy became the guy who you read about and you constantly make reference to their speeches and stuff like that when you're trying to get your kids to do the right things. So it's like, you have to understand, like, if somebody is using a lot, right, you can't just say Tuesday you got to get clean because today is Monday. You have to show them different types of steps. Like, when I wanted to stop smoking cigarettes and when I wanted to stop smoking the weed and stuff like that, I had to find stuff to actually do. Like, yeah, it was cold turkey, but I had to find shit to do.
Right, to replace that.
Right. Like, you can't just, prime example, if somebody gets mad and they punch holes in walls, and you want them to stop punching holes in walls, you have to actually give them something to do when they're upset.
Right.
Some people might get mad and, okay, you know what? I'm going to the gym. Or, you know what? I'm going to go listen to music. Or, you know what? I'm mad. I'm just going to meditate, relax, analyze what I'm actually mad about and how I can fix it, because I'm sick and tired of going to the damn hospital because I keep breaking my hand, punching holes in walls. Or I'm sick of landlords keeping my security deposits because I keep punching holes in walls. I'm tired of this shit. Like, let me think about
that's
how
a crazy problem to have.
Yeah, it is. But
of course, it happens all the time.
We live in a country that glorifies rage.
Right.
Like,
for sure.
Like,
for sure.
Profound,
actually.
We like, this country glorifies rage.
Yeah.
Prime example. How many times have you seen somebody in traffic? They're pissed off.
Going hard in the car.
They will be pissed off. Won't even know why they're mad.
Yeah, this one time I was at the light over by Walden where you could turn to go toward the Galleria Mall. And this kid was behind me, pissed off, like flipping his hair, flipping me off in the mirror. I'm just like, "Are you serious?"
Wow.
Like,
yeah.
So like now I'm sitting here, get madder, like, and that might be my fault. Well, fuck you. I was on that type of time, like, yo.
To be honest,
you're really getting mad in traffic. That's crazy.
Yeah, I was with a friend of mine yesterday. And there was a car who was pissed off because she chose not to turn on red right away. Right. Beep, 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 beep. And I'm just like, damn, that's crazy. That's nuts.
Right.
Like, relax. Or the classic one. The asshole that will race you to be the first one at the stop sign.
Yo, mad annoying. Why are you doing that? And then it's funny, those people who race you to, like, through red lights and stuff, you get stuck at a light and then you go up to the next one and you see them sitting there.
Yeah.
It's like, now look at you. Now look at you.
You know what the crazy part is? They're already anticipating your arrival on the side of them because they'll already be looking.
Right.
They'll already be looking at where they know you're going to be at, and they'll be mad as hell.
Right.
What the fuck are you looking at? And it's like, damn, this is nuts. Like, you asshole.
Ooh,
like,
I've never gotten that.
Yeah, like
don't talk to me in your car.
People who have like road rage. I think everybody has had an episode of road rage before.
Oh yeah, for sure.
People as far as road rage, it's crazy.
And you know about road rage, right?
Yeah.
Free radicals in the car.
Yeah.
Fast food.
Yeah.
It all correlates.
How many times have you been to a Tim Hortons and seen people fighting to get to the drive-thru? Like,
which is crazy. It's like, oh, it's not that deep.
This guy laid on his horn.
It's like, you know that coffee costs $2.
Right. This guy
can wait.
Seriously, this guy laid on his horn. And when he got done laying on his horn, he rolled his window down and he said something very degrading about the man who he was blowing at wife.
Really? Wow. Yeah. See, like,
I'm just like,
and
damn.
now, like, in certain people's mind, now I gotta punch you in the face.
Right.
Because you disrespecting somebody who had nothing to do with this. That's my woman.
Mm-hmm.
Dog.
We have to get into it now because
those free radicals in the car are crazy. Yeah. You need to roll your window down.
Oh yeah.
You know about that, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. or the kind of people who get out the car.
Right.
It's like, this is nuts. So we're basically now going to go to jail. We have to pay for bail and lawyer fees.
You don't know that.
For wanting to spend $2 a piece.
Right.
Because I wanted to spend my $2 and you wanted to spend your $2.
I was going to do it before you.
Yeah.
You wanted to do it before me.
Right. And this is what I have to pay a bail bondsman now. I have to pay a lawyer now. I potentially may get fired now.
Right.
Over some damn coffee.
I'm missing work.
Man.
Yeah.
Hell, the Popeye's chicken sandwich.
Oh, you want to talk about ignorant? You fighting over chicken? And people talk about stereotypes. You're making it worse. Stop fighting me over fucking chicken sandwich that's pumped full of all types of antibiotics to keep us down and make us fight over the fucking chicken sandwich.
Right.
That shit is crazy.
Wildest shit in the world. But you know what I started thinking? when I heard about it, I'm in my head like,
yo, up here on Elmwood.
Yeah.
How are you? Why?
Yeah, it got real. It got real.
People in there disrespecting. Fuck you mean you ain't got no more chicken? Y'all a chicken place. Dog, y'all ate it all.
Right.
We had a giant shipment today. Just came in here and ate it all.
Right.
We want me to do.
We're not the only Popeyes in the world.
Yeah, right.
Now
you're gonna take your time and go out to Niagara Falls or
Rochester
or to by the Galleria, and it's gonna be gone there too because
right.
It ain't just y'all.
No.
Everybody wants this fucking
right.
chicken sandwich.
What people don't understand is, like the first thing that went off in my head when I started hearing about this, I'm like, I wonder how many of these were road rage drive-through incidents.
Right.
Because the rage that starts in the car will make somebody park or just get out right there.
Right.
And start doing damage to the closest thing near them.
Right.
Whether it be a person, the building. If they want to bust a window.
Right.
They have something in their car that's going to bust, that they're going to try to bust the window with. I've seen people blinded by anger so much that they actually threw a napkin out a window. And I'm just like,
yo, imagine thinking that was gonna do something.
Yeah, I'm just like, damn, like, yeah, like, yo, like,
and it go like,
yeah, like,
it doesn't even go far.
Like, I've never seen a Bounty commercial and seen a paper towel or a napkin ever bust a window open.
Right.
Where in the hell did you think that was gonna happen at? Like, wow.
That's some shit you drew like you play with your play fight with your little cousin or something.
Right.
Throw a napkin at him.
Right. Like this is
you
nuts.
Gotta chill.
Yeah, and it's like,
imagine if you had a battery next to you. You gonna throw that too?
Man,
it's crazy to me the people who are like blinded by rage like that, who like you said might have a road rage incident, get out or get off the road, go park at Popeyes. They wanted something to eat in the first place. Take something out their car and smack a window.
Right.
Now I personally haven't heard that. But I'm sure it's happened somewhere.
Right.
Or in some type of capacity.
Right.
That's similar. But you getting mad from one place, taking it to another place, and then doing the extra step to go get something and cause damage to something else is just wild to me. At no point during that whole interaction you thought, you know what, let me just calm down. You know what, why am I doing this?
It's crazy.
I'm really about to... Now you're going to go to jail.
Yeah. Yeah,
and now you're gonna have to really deal with a whole. This might be a year process at this point.
And God forbid you hurt somebody's kid acting like an asshole.
Oh, now you're going to jail for real. You're gonna get time.
Somebody's kid is now traumatized because you were an asshole. Because
if you hurt the kid,
by rage.
Now you get somebody totally different who was just minding their business.
Yeah.
And now they got to go sit down.
Yeah. Like it's
that rage shit is nasty, man. That's why I really do not eat fast food.
I hear you. I definitely hear you.
Roll with the windows down. I'm telling you, it makes a difference. Drink nothing but water.
Right. I definitely think the foods we eat have
which I appreciate
very,
you for.
Very, right.
No
problem.
You're the first guest to ever come through with a gift for me, which is Fiji water, my guy, and then the black sandalwood incense.
No problem, man.
You want to burn another one?
Oh yeah, shit. It's all about vibes, man. It's all about good vibes and just keeping everything cool. You know.
Y'all know about this? Oh shit! You can't see nothing.
Nah, they can't see anything.
Damn.
We look like shadows.
Has that been the whole time?
For a minute now, yeah. We look like shadows. We completely look like shadows.
I'll have to do some editing.
Cool.
What I'm talking about is the black sandalwood.
Yeah, it's good stuff. But it's to the point to where, in all honesty, it's like us as melanated people, we cannot. The last thing we can afford to do is get mad and act out on rage.
Right.
The only thing we can actually afford to do is get mad and think of a way to constructively fix the problem.
Right. And that's what they don't want you to do.
No, hell no.
They don't want you to critically think. What What a concept.
Man.
You got the lighter?
The only thing that they actually appreciate us as melanated people thinking for, they appreciate our thoughts because they're going to criminalize us for implementing this stuff, and then they're going to do it.
Right.
And then it's going to become a trend.
Right. Or they'll just take your art.
Pretty much.
All right, and we're back.
Nah,
Did a little intermission. Oh, be careful of this, too.
Oh, yeah. It's just crazy or whatever the case because, all of this stuff is nuts, man. Like, nobody should actually really have these kind of problems to where rage is like the first resort.
Right.
And I completely get it, you know, the neighborhoods and stuff like that, how they actually made it and stuff like that. And then it's like, they've actually used like hip hop, a form of expression and stuff like that, you know. They've took hip hop and they've made it to where they segregate neighborhoods. They segregate you by neighborhoods, by clothing. It's all in the schools.
Right.
How many times growing up in high school did somebody get into a fight over what happened between their two favorite rappers? Like, I know when I was in school.
Yeah, we used to have wars against PlayStation versus Xbox, like
Yeah.
real fist fights.
Yo.
Shout out to Olmsted High School. If any of y'all watching, y'all remember the great wars of the fucking consoles? That shit was the stupidest shit ever. To be quiet as kept, I think I started that. I was a part of like the group to like start it. I was always quiet, but when it came to video games, don't get me started.
Right.
I didn't say like, yo, let's go fuck these PlayStation dudes up. Not once. That real gang members like fighting over PlayStation and Xbox.
It's
like,
crazy.
yo,
It's crazy. It's real crazy, and it's wild because you kind of look at it like I remember a guy got clowned on the train for actually listening to Ja Rule.
For John,
got clowned on it like. He got clowned so
yo,
hard.
Ja Rule.
It was crazy, and I'm like, damn. Like I understand the 50 Cent Ja Rule situation,
right?
However, Ja Rule definitely has some hits.
Yo, if you go to Spotify, all his top songs are bangers.
Yeah.
And people don't remember that.
Yeah, like people like. Oh,
it's fun to make fun of Ja Rule now because
right.
50 Cent and the Fiery Festival and all that stuff. But yo, that man had platinum records.
Right.
One of the more decorated rappers of the 90s and the early 2000s.
Right. What I look at it like this. It's so crazy because us as melanated people,
that's funny, man.
we have been programmed to basically dislike and discard every innovator or anybody who was good or whatever the case who looks like us.
Yep.
But people who are not melanated, they will speak in such high regards to one of their icons who bit every damn thing that they ever put out.
Yep.
They didn't even write their own lyrics, but they'll say, you know what, this person was the greatest, and it's
pioneer and innovator.
Yeah, it's like, damn, like that's crazy.
That's who your king is.
They're a pioneer. Yeah, right. They're a pioneer. They're an innovator. They never had not one original lyric that came from them at all.
Right.
They were a good performer.
Mm-hmm.
They had showmanship.
Right.
And they had the complexion for people to actually accept them.
Mm-hmm.
That's all they had.
Yep.
DMX. People will talk about DMX's drug addiction, and it's like, you know how many rock stars?
Wasn't DMX one of the only ones to like sell out Sydney or something like that? Like he did some enormous festival.
It was something to that effect.
Yeah.
I remember people talking about it. It's something to that effect.
It was definitely in Australia. It was one of the Sydney, Melbourne, something.
Yeah.
One of the biggest crowds of all time.
True indeed.
Bro,
I remember hearing that.
DMX was huge.
Oh yeah,
it's a legend. It's another legend.
You have people they'll talk about his battle with substance abuse, and it's like,
and somehow that takes away from the art.
Yeah, it's like hell. You have people, you have rock stars, you have authors. They do this shit.
Yeah, they do it. Yeah,
they're still currently using.
Right.
And will proudly get on a podcast and we'll talk about how they still currently use. And here DMX, like mind you, DMX is the ass of everybody's jokes for fighting.
Right.
Like for no longer letting this thing conquer him, like he's trying to fight some kind of way.
Right. Yeah. Are you speaking on that new campaign he just was involved in?
I'm completely oblivious.
Oh, okay.
New campaign, like
there is they're trying to bring him back in a good light. He was like modeling or something like that, and people were clowning him. Like he's like trying to get himself clean. He's trying to do the right thing, but yet here we go.
Okay.
DMX. Oh, I guess you're not smoking no more. Or
Okay.
no, I wonder what he got in that coat,
That's
bro.
that's.
People gotta chill. Twitter's wild.
I've never looked at Ozzy Osbourne and thought any shit like that.
Right.
I've never seen anybody look at Ozzy Osbourne and say anything of the sort. Hell, how can you clown DMX for actually doing this or whatever the case when you have people that are happy to see Claire on a Griselda album cover?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and shout out to that or whatever the case.
Yeah, that was different.
Right. I have nothing against it. Like, it's not my say so. That's what they wanted to do. That's what they went with.
Right.
Salute. That's what's up. Why is, you know what I'm saying? Like, to actually clown somebody, like, that's silly. That's silly as hell. Because you have people in Hollywood and people just, period, who do all kinds of crazy shit.
Right.
At one time, Britney Spears wanted to look like Michael Jordan. If she made a comeback right now,
she tried to multiple times. It didn't work. I think people are over Britney Spears.
If she made a comeback as far as an actress, I don't know, that any kind of platform she wanted to actually, stand on,
right,
to make her comeback, I don't think people would actually give her the kind of time that they give DMX. I don't think that they would come at her the way that they come at X. Like they come at X like, mind you, he was battling it. He was using this stuff this whole time. This stuff was conquering him this whole time.
Right.
So you're trying to tell me that basically you loved him when he was not fighting against the substances.
Right.
When these substances conquered him and controlled his life, you loved him? That says a lot about somebody as a person. You know what I'm saying?
Same thing with Eminem.
Yeah, right.
People are like, yo, we want pilled up Eminem back. What?
Right.
What? This man took all his time to overcome this addiction.
Right.
Now he's making different type sounding music and all this, but you want him to go back to doing pills and being crazy and shit and talk about beating his mom and his baby mother up.
Right.
Come on, man. That's destructive.
Right.
It's not only on the melanated side. It's everywhere.
Too.
Everybody.
That's true too.
It's crazy.
It's just like
people like destruction.
Yeah,
that's what it comes down to.
It just honestly, it's not always on the it doesn't.
They like
it's not just the melanated side, but we happen to get the bulk of that.
Oh
shit.
yeah, of course. Yeah, no, I'm just saying like there's a duality.
That's true.
There's always a left and a right, and up and a down.
Because you kind of look at it like, damn, like I like to see people actually doing good.
Yeah, I love to see people smile.
That's
one of my favorite things.
right. So it's like if somebody does an interview where they have a new record out, it's like, okay, damn, like that's cool. They've grown from out of this particular place that they were in 10 years ago, and they're here. That's dope.
Right.
Versus, damn, they were in that kind of place 10 years ago, right? It's been a decade later, and damn, they've renovated the place that they were in, and they've made the place more effed up than what it was when they first came out 10 years ago. Like, damn, like I hope that person has some people in their corner that's helping them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I kind of think about versus, oh, well, it's about it selling. And it's like, nah, like it's about it selling to companies.
Right.
A lot of people who have these views and these opinions have never worked for not one company. And it's
I think everybody needs to work with the public to really understand what's going on out here.
Right. In some capacity, I definitely do think so.
Yeah. Like working at Best Buy, for example, gave me a totally different view of people, how they operate, how people act, why they act like that.
Right. That's true.
I can tell you, I don't like the public, to be quite honest with you. I know, like, the public would eventually, like, in the line of work that I want to do and I'm pursuing, pay my bills.
Right.
Some of y'all are nasty. A lot of y'all are nasty.
Right. It's honestly like
they're like NPCs almost, non-player characters. Just the people you walk like in a video game, play games at all, or have in the past.
As a kid, hell
Pokemon,
yeah.
Sure.
Pokemon,
like the people you can't talk to for real,
Digimon,
or you can't hold like real conversation with. They just give you a sound bite.
Yeah.
It's a lot of those.
Yeah.
But every once in a while, you meet a real person. And it's just like it's refreshing.
Right.
It's like someone has something to add.
You know what the crazy part is?
What's that?
Some of the best conversations I've had have been from Uber and Lyft.
Yeah.
Crazy, right?
Yeah, definitely. I can say the same thing about working at Best Buy. There's always, like I said, there's a left and a right to every.
Right.
There's duality in the world.
This is true.
This is what this third dimension is.
This is
It's
true.
duality.
This is very true.
So I can say all day, yeah, the public is ass or whatever, But there has been times where in that same, setting, I had really great conversations and learned something great.
Right.
So many times.
Right.
Yeah, and and for that I'm thankful.
Oh yeah, indeed.
For sure.
I've actually and it's funny you say that. It kind of teaches you how to basically flush all the bugs out of a bad situation.
There you go.
Like you kind of you know what? Okay, I know how to pretty much tweak this. It's pretty much like if you're recording a record and you kind of your vocal inflection wasn't what you wanted it to be at this particular part of the song, but the engineer's like, it's cool, don't worry about that. I have something that's going to fix this up. Right. Your vocal inflection is going to sound exactly how you wanted it to sound because I have to mix and master this thing.
Mm-hmm.
Don't worry about that. This happens to be an unfinished version that you recorded. Don't worry about it. I'm going to polish everything up.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to flush everything out. And everything you're saying or whatever the case is going to be understood just as clearly as you intended on it being understood.
Right.
It's like that. It's definitely like that. You have to learn how to definitely look at life like that because, man, people out here going crazy.
For sure.
Like, people are being consumed by rage. People are killing themselves. People are just...
It's ramping up.
Yeah, like, it's getting wild. Like,
but then again, is it really ramping up, or is it because we have access to social media and things like that? It's more apparent.
I think both. Reason why I say I think it's ramping up because it's more apparent because you have, like, when we were growing up, certain stuff was off limits to kids that have access to.
Right, definitely.
Now, like, you may not let your kids have access to any of this stuff. Your kids may go to an after school program and they may have a friend who has a cell phone who has access to some of the wildest stuff in the world. And it's mind blowing to them because they don't have this at home. So they're kind of like, they're going to soak it all up.
Right.
Like, wow, like that's crazy.
Right.
So it gets in some kind of way. I definitely do think that, let's see, the record Cornbread I had or whatever the case.
Mm-hmm.
I forget how that particular lyric go. I did this 2 winters ago, but they have newer models that they're programming as far as with children. They're making children newer models of pawns.
Right.
Like as we speak. So it doesn't even necessarily like people to say, well, like for us, our generation, it seems like it's happening. Like we could say social media's out.
Mm-hmm.
This been happening. To this generation that's coming up, it's gonna happen so much more when they get older because
oh yeah, definitely.
As long as you have people that's gonna say the younger generation, the younger generation, the younger generation, the younger generation, the younger generation in a negative tone,
right?
They're gonna put that in the air so damn much that the younger generation are just gonna start accepting it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know what? We are the generation that's gonna burn everything down to the
right.
ground.
Yep. Yeah, you're right. Yep. Mm-hmm.
That's gonna be the narrative. Versus, okay, I have to teach them at an early age that they have to flush out the bad stuff. They have to learn how to maneuver around this stuff. It's mental.
Right. They
have to learn how to actually do this and understand this. Versus, oh damn, your generation ain't gonna do nothing but consume that trash and fucking die. It's
right.
Like, damn, that's crazy. So when they actually do this when they're older, you can't really say, well, it's completely their fault. No, it's not.
Right. And the wild shit is, like, people talk about, oh, this generation, but, like, who do we learn it from? If we didn't just, like, pick up this shit out the air.
This is true.
Bro, I was at home with you when you were doing bullshit. So, therefore, I'm going to do bullshit. You know what I mean?
How many people would say, I don't let my kids listen to rap music, it's too much cursing.
But then call them all types of MFs and Fs and Bs in the house from the parent. Come on, man. You can't poison your people as your kids as the parent.
Man.
They're going to hear that out in the world. They shouldn't hear it at home from the people that they trust and love.
Right. Crazy, right?
Yeah, super crazy.
They'll cut the song off of the car. They're talking about something crazy. They'll roll the window down out of road rage and say everything
that the record was just saying.
Say everything.
I can't believe they said that in a song. Motherfucker, get out my way, bitch!
Like something wild.
And the kid is in the back, like, oh, that's how you're supposed to talk. It was in music, and mom is saying it, and dad is saying it, and big cousin is saying it.
Right.
Whoever they look up to.
Right.
We let the youth down.
Pretty much.
As a collective.
Pretty much. And
if you're not like the beacon of sainthood,
right.
You're letting someone down.
Right. It gets to the point to where I can't call the youth bad people because of what they talk about in their music, because
blame yourself.
At the end of the day, we have a lot of elders who are so goddamn pompous.
Super.
They would much rather throw blame and throw all kinds of shade on the youth instead of actually trying to drop little jewels to expose them to something that can actually give them an innovative thought process, or it can actually give them a wider scope. Mm-hmm. It's not for you to dictate what they do with it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, hell, if I went to Aldi's right now up the street and I gave you a frozen pack of chicken breast, I cannot tell you, hey, put it in the smoker, or you know what? Fry it.
Right.
Whatever you choose to do with it is what you choose to do with it.
Right.
You may get romaine lettuce and chop it up and make you a salad.
Right.
You may do anything that you please with it, but the fact of the matter is, I gave you this food, here it go. And it's the same thing with the food for thought thing. It applies. Hey, here you go. That's all it honestly is. They'll sit there and they'll say stuff like, oh, well, you know, they never want to change. And it's like, we're not on each other's timing. We're not on each other's timing at all. Right. Maybe it's not in the cards for them to change right now. Mm-hmm. Maybe it might be in the cards or whatever the case, because I believe in generational curses and things of that nature.
For sure. You see it all the time.
Maybe it might actually
be the cycle.
Right. Maybe, because it's like at the end of the day, I don't know what God's plan is for you. You don't know what God's plan is for me.
Right.
The guy who's on drugs, who's begging for 25 cents to get home,
mm-hmm.
I don't know what God's plan is for him. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. So to actually sit there and say like, oh, well, you know what? You're a fucking loser and you'll never be shit. That's silly.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I don't know what God's plan is for this individual or whatever the case, you know?
Right.
So when I look at the youth, it's like, okay, they're talking about guns. Okay, cool. I don't know what God's plan is for them. So I'm not going to write them off.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Because at the end of the day, that little bit of information that you might have shared with them might have actually showed them, you know what, instead of running into the wall with my head, let me get a ladder, put it up the wall, and let me start climbing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? People don't think about that shit like that. They just always, fuck them in their pants. Did you ever see the Isley Brothers album cover?
Probably, but I'm not.
You ever seen how basketball shorts back in the day used to look?
Crazy, yeah.
This isn't the first time, you know what I'm saying? This isn't the first time this has occurred.
Right.
And once again, like I said, I don't judge somebody based off of their dress code.
Mm-hmm.
Don't care to judge somebody based off of their dress code. Look at The Godfather. Guys wear tailor suits every day, but to blow your damn head off.
Right. Definitely.
You know, like, I don't assume that if prime example, if me as a black man, melanated man, pardon me, us as melanated men, if we put on sweatsuits or whatever the case, and we went out somewhere, somebody's going to instantly think what?
You're going to rob. You're going to do up to no good. Got drugs.
We might be on our way to the gym.
All the bad shit. Yeah, right. Exactly.
We could be on our way to the gym. Or we live in Buffalo, not Southern California.
Dog, it's cold.
Exactly. How are we criminals?
Right.
Oh, well, there's other stuff you can wear. Maybe I don't want to wear a cashmere jacket.
Right.
Maybe I'm trying to be fiscally responsible.
Right. Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying?
Cashmere cost.
Yeah, man, right. Right. Maybe I don't want to wear a cashmere jacket just to go grocery shopping.
But is it because they want us to wear that type of thing that it costs, so you don't get it?
Yeah.
Deeper, darker link.
Yeah, that's another topic that hopefully one day in the near future we definitely dive into.
Right. Yeah. That's a whole nother can of worms. Yeah.
Hell yeah. Because it's like it gets to that point where it's like, why does it really matter what somebody has on? Mm-hmm. You know, like why does it matter?
Right.
I don't. Well, you know they have sweatpants with holes in them. So, what are they doing that puts you in any kind of imminent danger?
Right. Until they actually do something, you should just calm down.
Are you in any kind of imminent danger? Oh, you're not. So why the hell does it matter what their description is?
Right.
You're not reporting their description to somebody to do something about this because you're in imminent danger. So what seems to be the problem? You know,
right?
You have rich people who nobody can see that they're suicidal because you're blinded by the tailored shirt, in the nice shoes.
You know how many times I've heard that about rich people who have mental issues, like a Robin Williams, for example, who committed suicide. Oh, he has all this money. What is he mad about? What is he sad about? What are you depressed about? You have all the money in the world. Look at me, I have nothing. Bro, having money and being successful and all that stuff is not a cure for your depression at all. It probably is going to make it worse.
Way worse.
Way worse, yeah. No probably about it will make it worse.
Way
you have
worse.
to like figure that out first before
Way
you go
worse.
ahead and step into other realms, I feel like.
Oh,
And it was interesting. I watched the Joe Budden podcast a lot.
Okay.
And they were just talking about how there should be like a counseling. Oh wait, no, it wasn't Joe Budden. It was a Griselda interview
Oh wow. Okay.
on Sway in the Morning, their new one, and they're sitting there like, yo, there should really be like counselors or someone who should, you know, be there for these kids to let them know when they get in how to financially manage their money, how to operate and things like that. And actually it was on the Joe Budden podcast too. It was both of them. They were both talking about it at the same time. Joe Budden was like, there should be a label counselor.
Yeah.
Something to help you deal with mental issues.
This is true.
Bro, because I'm sitting there making you millions of dollars. Fucking help me out, please.
Right. Hell, Ricky Williams, the running back.
Right. Oh, man. Right.
He had it very bad.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he didn't like really being around. I think it was like a social anxiety thing, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
He didn't like it. So it's like, people have to definitely understand.
And he went and became a caveman, didn't he?
Yeah.
Or some wild shit.
Yeah.
He was gone.
Because that was his way to, you know, I'm going to be honest with you. You know how somebody say, this person went crazy. They went to the mountains or something like that.
Right.
I'm going to be completely honest. I would rather them in the mountains finding refuge in whatever that we may find odd than them killing themselves.
Dog, to be completely honest with you, I go to Letchworth and like I'm around nature all the time for that exact reason.
Oh yeah.
I need to find an outlet personally.
Right.
Letchworth, Glen Falls. I go to Niagara Falls all the time. I was just up there a few days ago to look at the water.
Wow.
Just to be around something to like kind of like calm you down, soothe you in a way.
Right.
You know, kind of like help you. You know, realize that life is more than the issue you may be going through.
Right.
And, you know, that and music, you know, is my personal outlet. Going hiking through Letchworth itself.
Oh,
you know, it's a different experience. And people need to find their outlet.
Oh, yeah.
So going to the mountains is not a crazy thing.
No, hell no.
It's a thing that is probably saving someone's life.
Right. You know what the crazy thing is?
What's that?
Waiting outside of a mall at 3:00 in the goddamn morning for a
pair
of shoes.
Come on, man. You talk about, oh, I'm crazy for going to see nature, but yet you're out here fighting people for stuff that the man said he doesn't care about you. He said he doesn't care about y'all, and he buys into privatized prisons. But you want to buy his shoes and put another earring in his ear. Shout out to PA for that line. You know, yeah, it's nasty out here.
It's wild because
there's so many different levels.
Oh yeah, it's wild because it's like you look at it from the angle of it's like, okay, you have people who will basically say like that's crazy or whatever the case. That somebody may want to, you know, be one with nature and all that other stuff, or they may want to fast. They may want to do whatever it is that they want to do. They're using their free will to self-reflect and do something about what they're seeing on their journey or on the process of self-reflection. That's what they're using their free will to do.
Right.
They're not using their free will to once again put anybody in any kind of imminent danger. What's wrong? How are they crazy?
Right.
Crazy is, once again, these people who they have a damn bank card, they have access to a computer, they could order the same stuff that they're going to go wait in line for, they're going to go fight you for it. They can avoid all of this if they just order it.
Right.
They won't do that, though.
Right. I got to have it now. I'm trying to look fly for the block now.
Man, I'm going to beat somebody's ass for these sneakers right now. Even if I get arrested in the process of trying to get these sneakers.
I'm getting these sneakers.
Yeah. Or I may not even get these sneakers, but you're going to know that I'm going to ride out for these damn sneakers.
And there's your materialism right there.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I think, to be honest with you, I think that materialism is like one of the biggest forms of insanity.
Yeah. I can see that.
Like, man, oh, man. Yeah. I believe materialism is one of the biggest forms of insanity. To the point to where it's like, if somebody steps on somebody's sneakers, it could go to the extent of
you
somebody
might get stabbed.
Yeah.
Or shot.
Yeah.
Over sneakers. my bad.
Yeah, it can go to that extent to where you might actually die.
Yeah.
It's like, damn, like you could easily wipe those things off. It was an honest mistake. You know what I'm saying?
And I
like,
apologized.
Right. It was.
But nobody gives a fuck about apologies.
No, and it's weird as hell. It's weird as hell. Like, we just live in this day and age where a lot of this stuff is so prominent. Like I said, these kids that are 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, not kids, pardon me, young adults.
Right.
Or young people that are maturing into young adults. They haven't been alive long enough to perpetuate this type of shit.
Right.
They haven't.
Right.
Anything that they're perpetuating is an extensified version of what older generations have passed down.
Mm-hmm.
So you kind of look at it like, okay, look, where did they learn to fight over this bullshit at? You know? Where did they learn this? The background was funny as hell.
When they're playing the game.
Yeah. Where did they learn this at? You know?
Yeah.
They didn't just wake up and say, I'm going to stab you over stepping on my sneakers because it's Wednesday.
Right.
Nah, it doesn't happen like that.
Right.
It doesn't happen like that at all. There was like, from the road rage to, road rage once again can also be a form of materialism.
Right.
If you damage somebody's car. How many times have you seen somebody roll down the window and say, I'm going to fuck you up if you do this to my car?
One time, and it was in New York City.
Of course.
Yo, cab driver was like, yo, I have no shame. I will scratch that nice-ass car you got up right now if you don't let me in. Bro, I'm telling you, I don't care. My man Justin was like, man, fuck you. I was like, yo.
Yeah, right.
I'm right here next to this dude.
Right.
So if he scratches this up, it's going to fucking hurt me. Like,
right.
Everybody should calm down.
Right.
We're also not in our own city.
Right.
Therefore, I don't know how these motherfuckers move.
Right.
Apparently, this is how they move. And we're not about to do none of that today. We're so slow poking Buffalo. That's fast moving New York City.
It gets to the point.
Man said, I have no shame. I will dent my shit to dent yours if you don't let me in.
And what people don't
Traffic's
understand.
crazy.
Yeah, because, yeah, hell yeah. It's to the point to where, man, it's all about just one day at a time and just slow and steady, you know?
Right.
Even if you are moving fast paced or whatever the case, you want to make sure that what you're doing is making sense. You know, you're actually thinking. You're using your head. You're not being impulsive.
Right.
Because a lot of this shit, man, is for what, you know? Like, hypertension amongst melanated people, that shit is real.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't have it. I don't want to have it.
Right.
But it's in the name, hypertension.
Right.
You know, like, this stuff is real.
Mm-hmm.
This stuff is out here killing us. Cancer, strokes. This stuff is killing us, like,
right.
for real. Next to, you know, police officers and next to any other thing that has a history of killing us, this thing is killing us. In fact, it's even way deeper than the foods we eat.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think that the foods we eat play a big part in how we may deal with stuff.
Yeah, huge part.
At the same time, consumption doesn't just mean eating.
Right.
You know, like
media.
You have media. You have all sorts of, you know, stuff or whatever the case. Like, sometimes you just have to know, like, you know what? I need to fast from all of this shit because it's going to make me a crazy motherfucker. It's going to have me out here wilding out.
Yep. The
same people I used to laugh at 9 years old because I thought they were crazy, I'm going to be like...
I'm being those, yeah.
I'm going to be besides them, going nuts.
Crazy thing is, like, a lot of... I don't know if you ever seen this meme or something like it where it's like, you know, as a kid, you look at Squidward, made fun of him, but, like, I'm Squidward now.
Yeah, pretty much.
I don't want to go to work. I hate you. I'm mad. I have a stupid hobby. I'm Squidward, and that's real shit.
Yeah, it's to the point to where it's all about just, man, you just gotta maintain. You gotta, you know, relax.
Right.
People forget to take it easy.
Right.
You know, just hypertension is some serious shit. Man.
Yeah, that's a real one right there.
Some serious shit. And you have a lot of people who just, they don't really think like, well, like somebody, like I'm 27, so somebody be like, hey, well, you know, you have your whole life to think about that. And I'm just like, yeah, I do. However, I need to think about it now, and I need to act on not
Yeah,
doing
right,
stuff that's
right.
going to give me that in
Preventative
20 years.
measures.
Right.
Yeah.
Because if I don't, like as you were just saying, preventative measures, if I don't take the preventative measures, I'm going to be 47 and I'm going to, when I self-reflect, I'm going to be pissed off that I didn't take the preventative measures, which is going to gradually boost my hypertension.
Right.
Even more. You know? So it's like you...
Regrets.
Yeah, man. Like, I'm not trying to enter my elder statesman phase or my elder statesman years
right with
regrets.
Right.
That'll kill you.
For sure.
It'll kill you
100%.
That and hypertension, it equals an early funeral.
Yep.
Like, quickly, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So it's just all about just, you know, and then a lot of people just, they don't appreciate stuff at all, you know?
Right.
Like, appreciation has a price tag now.
Definitely.
How much they appreciate something, it's a price tag.
Everything has a price tag now.
Yeah.
I mean, everything had a price tag, but everything really has a price tag now.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you got to, like, pay to talk to people sometimes.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
and not even like, who are you?
Right.
Bro, I'm not buying your premium. I'm not doing it. Like, why do you think that was what I was going to do?
Somebody actually tried to sell me one of those.
Because somebody is out here buying that shit. Like,
yeah,
bro,
like,
people are paying to watch you.
Yeah.
What?
Right.
I'm just not going to watch you.
Right. You know what the crazy thing is about this?
What's up?
If you pay to watch somebody else, you're getting valuable information. Depending on what it is, you may be getting valuable information. But
right.
If you're paying to watch somebody else, you're cool. If you record yourself and you watch yourself all the time, you're self-absorbed. You're a narcissistic asshole without being a narcissistic asshole. Damn. This is just somebody's assumption.
I watch these podcasts all the time. And I'm in them.
Like, it's like, it's getting to the point to where we're making self-love and being comfortable in your skin. A lot of people cannot differentiate narcissism from self-love.
Right.
And it's getting to the point to where it's like, yo, that's nuts. Like,
right.
You actually have to hold another human being who is equal to you. You have to hold them. You have to exalt them. You have to, for one, you have to move God out the way.
Mm-hmm.
You have to exalt this human being just like you, higher than you though.
Right.
Because if you don't, and you say we're all equal or whatever the case, and you happen to hold yourself to a higher standard, you're either arrogant, you're narcissistic, something's wrong with you, and it's like, you got to understand something. I'm not looking at you thinking of how can I be better than you in 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at me 5 years ago, and I'm like, I'm better than who I was 5 years ago. How can me 5 years later be better than me now?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
This is what this is about. Because ultimately, we all have, not everybody, but in some capacity, we all have kids watching us.
Right.
It may not be in the capacity of kids that are biologically yours.
Right.
But we have somebody from the younger generation that is watching us, and it gets to the point to where it's like, okay, I need to figure out how to gradually get better and actually be on myself as far as holding myself to a higher standard, because I have somebody who's going to one day emulate every goddamn thing that I'm showing them.
Right.
You know?
Somewhere.
Oh, yeah. Prime example, if...
Might not even be in this country.
Right.
But somewhere.
Right.
A kid is going to try to be Jzonqellis.
Right.
Kid is going to try to be Son Scotty.
Right. Which I would want them to actually model themselves after what I'm proud to show versus, you know, like times I wasn't really, you know, showing the best versions of myself, you know?
Right.
I would actually hate for somebody's kid to go and say, you know what, I want to model myself to be this type of Jzonqellis or that's like, no. You know, I don't, because I wouldn't want that for my own children.
Right.
If I wouldn't let a personality or a celebrity, I don't know what the hell they call them now. They have so many different names.
God.
For people.
Influencers.
Yeah,
we
like
had
they
that
have
talk
so many...
last time too.
If I wouldn't allow somebody with one of those names to influence my child to be the worst version of themselves, I wouldn't do the same thing to somebody else's kid.
Right.
You know, like I don't really care about ratings or anything like that. I don't care about blowing up off a rap. It's probably never gonna happen. To be honest with you, I'm at peace with that shit. I'm cool.
Yeah.
I'm good. Like, you know, I'm comfortable in my skin.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna always grind.
Mm-hmm.
That's never gonna stop. The only thing that can actually stop me from grinding is actually death itself. That's never gonna stop.
Right.
Whether it be music, whether it be anything on the legitimate side of things. I'm gonna always grind it out. I'm gonna always have records out there.
Right.
I don't care about blowing up. I don't care about being in somebody's office signing a contract. I just don't care. I'm so at peace with the shit that when we actually get done or whatever the case with this interview, there's people who I want you to interview with or whatever the case who I've met them like maybe 2.5 years ago, whatever the case.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of them are great artists or whatever the case, and they're dope ass people. You know, like shit, Audie K, K Pistol, Shots 4-5, Uncle Hef, Slick Lano, people like that or whatever the case. It's
that's funny. I just met Uncle Hef.
Really?
Yeah. We did a show together. Shout out to Reese Young for putting me on that joint.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my guy.
Yeah, hell yeah. I like prime example. I'm glad to see G Primacy.
G Prem, that's my guy too. We be in the studio all the time.
Yeah, out of the Individuals Collective, I'm glad to see G Primacy is still, doing his thing or whatever the case.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like I'm so at peace with not caring about making it in music. I'm glad to see other people doing it. Like that's what's up. Like I haven't stopped doing music, but it's like I just don't care about pursuing it as far as blowing up.
Right. I'm glad to see other people elevate.
Hell yeah. You're supposed to, you know?
Right.
How are you gonna elevate in other capacities and you haven't let go of the capacity that you want to elevate in? Mm-hmm. So because I no longer care about trying to elevate in rap or whatever the case, I want to see everybody else fail. No, that's
corny. That's
silly as hell because
a lot of people have that mind state though.
Yeah, they do.
A lot of people you might know have that mind state.
Ultimately, that's what kills them.
Yep.
Ultimately, it kills them because they attract somebody within their circle who feels the same way about them elevating in the thing that they care about elevating in now.
Right.
They just don't see it because they're so busy making sure that everybody else in their mind fails. Mm-hmm. So it's like, okay, the same thing happens. It comes right back to you, you know?
Right. Yeah, man. So we've had a very extensive talk today.
Yeah.
Let's reel it back. Talk about first of all, Tapestry. You went to Tapestry High School.
Yeah.
Did you go to Tapestry when it was in St. Mary's School for the Deaf?
Yes.
Word. I took tutoring classes there.
That's crazy.
In Tapestry during that time. That's funny. And my brother went to Tapestry once they moved to that new building behind
I was
Mavis and all. Yeah, long gone. Yeah.
Great Arrow.
Yeah, yes, exactly. What was that like going to school? Because I've never asked anybody that, but you literally went to high school in a school for deaf kids. Were they in there with you?
As far as classes?
Not classes, but I know, did you pass them in the hallway and stuff? Oh, you did?
Yeah, we would actually, we would pass each other and stuff like that.
Yeah. What was that like? That's a different experience.
It was pretty much like any other experience outside of them.
And I'm not asking this because they're deaf.
No.
But it's just it would be the same thing if you went to high school in
two different schools. In one
building. Exactly.
Right. That's, it was cool. You wave to them, you keep it pushing or whatever the case. You might bump into them later on in life. Some might remember you. You might recognize some, and they might not remember who you are at all. And it's cool. Yeah. But it was cool though. Mm-hmm. I remember bits and pieces, cause it's I submerged myself in adulthood real early. I was a teen parent. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So you have to.
Yeah. So I kind of just certain bits and pieces I remember in high school and stuff like that. Like if I'm talking to somebody I went to high school with, they might bring something up and it's, oh yeah, I remember that. Like, damn, wow, that's crazy. Right. But I submerged myself in adulthood maybe around the end of 10th grade. Okay. So a lot of that stuff, I don't remember anything. Mm. Certain stuff, it'll have to come to me. If I might see a picture that might start it back up in my mind, like, okay, sure. I remember this.
Right. You had more things on your plate than just high school.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Definitely. Let's talk about Flawless Crime. Yeah. So, how did you get started with them? And then, What happened
Um,
to you? Like, not be? Are you still Flawless Crime?
If Jay Heat hit me right now, whatever the case, and he actually wanted to work on a project, hell yeah,
Sure, of course.
hell yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing changes because we didn't put out any kind of music, anything.
Right.
Like, that. Like as far as
I only
recently.
asked that because like I just stopped seeing it.
Yeah. You know, life happens. You know.
True.
He didn't have kids back then.
Mm-hmm.
I did. Now he has a baby girl, like I have a baby girl.
Right.
He's been submerged in fatherhood.
Right.
You know?
Right. Definitely.
You know. Man, Flawless Crime.
Shout out to Jay Heat too. I haven't talked to him in a while.
Big shout out to Jay Heat.
Yeah, shout out to him.
Jay Heat, Nook B. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah. Jay Love from Flawless Crime.
Yeah, Jay Love. Yeah.
Shade
Shout out
from
to
Flawless
him.
Crime.
Yep.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
That was one of the groups or like collectives that were like around when I first started looking around.
Destroy and Rebuild Project.
Yep. Yeah. Damn. It was Flawless Crime, Code Red, and then a little bit later,
Nova,
Greenhouse Project. That was me, Paul Atho, Reese Young, Genesis, Kid Sparks.
Yo, how's PA doing? That's crazy.
Paul's great.
That's what's up.
Yeah, Paul's great. He's a father now too.
Wow,
yep.
That's what's up. Congratulations, Paul.
Yeah,
that's what's up.
He's got some stuff on the way. He got some shit for y'all ass.
Wow, that's what's up.
Yeah,
that's what's
next
up.
year's looking great. We still talk every day. So,
wow,
yeah, that's my
nuts.
guy. Yeah,
that's nuts.
Definitely.
It started when Tariq Abdul Salam. Shout out to Tariq Abdul Salam.
Definitely one of your producers.
Yeah,
and also
producer, close friend, mentor.
Yeah.
I met him at 15 years old or whatever the case.
Yeah.
We've been cool as hell ever since then. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wouldn't go against the grain for towards him for nobody.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? No matter what our status was, even if we weren't speaking.
Right.
That's out of the question. Basically what's going on is what happened was Tariq Abdul Salam, this is way before, you ever heard of the Chicken Coop Studios?
No.
Okay, way before Chicken Coop Studios.
Wait, what's the timeline on that?
Way before. Man, hold on. Let me
get back in the Rolodex real quick.
Yeah, man, real quick. I'm flipping through. Okay. What happened was Jay Heat just happened to have 716 Live.
Yeah.
You remember that, right?
Yeah, I was involved in that for a little bit.
Jay Heat, Raphael Diaz, Chad Thomas, 716 Live, right? Okay. Tariq Abdul Salam hit me up and said, hey, Jay Heat is pretty much coming through, whatever. We're chopping it up. Jay Heat was already on Tariq's porch.
Mm-hmm.
We happened to just do a record. It was called, what was the name of that damn record? It was called Let Me In. It was me, Tariq, and Jay Heat, obviously.
Okay.
And he hit me up or whatever the case one day, and he asked me, like, how would I feel about working with Flawless Crime? I was cool with it.
Okay.
Know? Yeah, hell yeah.
Got you.
Let's go, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Before you know it, we're working on stuff. We're writing records and stuff like that. We probably got a bunch of unreleased material, too.
I'm sure.
But, yeah, man, that's pretty much how that came about.
Okay.
You know? The Failure Meets Success video, and the record or whatever the case. What else? It's so much stuff. Like, you would actually have to get the Flawless Crime members here, and we would actually have to really just talk about that for real.
Mm-hmm.
I can't cover everything. You know what I'm saying? I can just cover it to the best of my knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
We did a couple of shows. In fact, when I was on Individuals and he was on Cold Red.
Oh yeah, Individuals. Yeah.
Yeah, we did that show in
one.
Rochester, Dublin Underground.
Okay.
That particular night in Rochester. Me and Heat had a record. What was the name of that damn record? Formula One.
Mm-hmm.
And it was crazy because I had my own records that I was performing that night, and he had his own records. And I pitched the idea to him that, yo, before my set ends, was it before my set ended? Yeah, it was right before my set ended because I performed before him that night. Yo, we should do this record right here. We're both in the same spot or whatever the case. We should do this record.
Mm-hmm.
He was cool with it. We got it out the way. So hell yeah.
Word. That's what's up. What was your first show?
Cool Taj.
Yo, shout out Cool Taj, man.
Cool Taj the Great.
Cool Taj is super cool.
Oh yeah.
I interviewed him at Cretaceous Cyphers.
Yeah.
A couple years ago, actually.
Man, oh man, I was in high school. This is back. Okay, cool. This was back when Nobody's was on Elmwood, on the same side of the street as Panos.
Okay.
You remember Nobody's, right?
I do not.
Okay, I was in high school around this time.
Yeah.
Nobody's.
I started looking around Buffalo in like 2012. To be quite honest with you.
Okay, cool. I happened to this had to be what 2009, maybe 20. I think it was 2009 if I'm not mistaken. 2009.
That's a strange way of saying 2009.
Yeah, right.
I'm just
2009.
playing.
And so what happens is Kool Taj, he released Hip Hop in the Flesh. That was the album release party. He get done rocking or whatever the case. And I just happened to meet him outside.
Mm-hmm.
We chop it up or whatever the case. We exchange numbers. I hit Taj up or whatever the case. We would chop it up every now and again.
You in high school?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so what happens is the same day that my oldest daughter's mother, the same day that I'm in my head and it just hit me like she's pregnant. The same day, before she knew it, the same day. Yeah, the same day. It's when I end up opening up for Taj.
Wow.
I opened up for Taj at Nietzsche's.
Okay, and no Nietzsche's.
Yeah, Taj didn't know me from a hole in the wall. Shout out to Kool Taj the Great.
Yeah.
Didn't know me from a hole in the wall, but he let me open up for him. Yeah, hell
How'd
yeah.
that go?
Great.
Killed it?
Yeah.
That's what's up.
Oh yeah. If you ever talk to him or whatever the case may be, on camera or even off camera, you can ask him about the performance.
Word.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I definitely will. I plan to interview as many people from Buffalo as I possibly can.
Cool.
Just to like give a face and a voice to every single person outside of just their music, because I don't know another publication or anything like that to do whatever. When's the first time you really started to put the pen to the paper and really start to rap? Like when was it, and then what kind of like inspired you to do that, if any artists in particular?
Right. God bless the dead. Machina Johnson, 4th grade, Stepping Stone Academy art teacher.
Stepping Stone Academy.
Yeah.
Damn, I haven't heard that in mad long.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Also, real quick, in Tapestry, did you have Wajid as a
No.
Oh, you didn't have
No.
Idris? Okay.
No.
Okay.
No.
Oh, so he must have came after.
Yeah.
Because my brother had him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I didn't have him. Shout out to him though.
Young people.
Yeah, I happen to know him way outside of any music.
Yeah.
Shout out to him too. But what happened was art class. I couldn't draw. Till this day, I can't draw to save my life.
Right.
And Mr. Machina Johnson was basically telling me that art is way deeper than pictures. Like, you don't actually have to draw a actual picture. Like, words can actually be pictures.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like,
And how old were you?
9.
So you were 9 years. Okay, so you
4th
really
grade.
had it deep.
Yeah.
As a kid, that seed was planted.
Yeah.
Got
So
you.
we had to
That's dope.
we had to draw a picture to express us. I'm like, I can't draw. Like, I could not draw to save I swear I couldn't draw to save my life. So I happened to write my first rhyme.
At 9.
That's when it started.
Wow.
That's pretty much when it started. I happened to write my first rhyme or whatever the case. And it got to the point to where I became like extremely obsessed with just like piecing together how my day went.
Mm-hmm.
And just, it was just real crazy. Like, I would just fill up notebook pages. I would write on napkins, everything. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Even if I wanted to put something in my mind so I didn't forget it, I would scribble or I would jot the thing that stood out the most to me about this particular thing, whether it be a scenario, a stoplight, anything. I would scribble it on my hand with a permanent marker or whatever the case.
Yep.
So once I got home, I would look at it and remember it, and I would jot about it.
Wow.
And that's pretty much everything from back then. Pretty much turned into today, you know.
Wow. Shout out to that teacher, man.
Yeah, definitely. He passed some time ago.
Oh wow.
Yeah, man.
Rest in peace.
Yeah. God bless the dead.
Definitely. You have a project you're working on. A Week in the Life, right?
I was gonna put that project out, then I started thinking like, for what? You know what I'm saying? I'm here, I disappeared. For what?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, let me just release all of this. Pretty much release all of this or whatever the case. So, I haven't went anywhere. I mean, I have, but to show people like, hey, like, I haven't lost a step at all.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I can still step the same way I used to step back then, if not way better, 100 times way better, you know?
Right.
And it's like, hell, let me just release this. Let me release these records. I'm constantly bumping into people in my everyday life who, hey, like, what's up? Like, when's some new material dropping?
Yeah.
Or, I'm always just seeing, like, reminders or whatever the case that I should just start dropping stuff. just start dropping stuff. Don't even waste time on trying to even have this type of stuff. Don't even try to have it packaged. Just drop it.
Yeah.
Just put it out there. It's already mixed and mastered. The only thing that's really stopping you from dropping it is you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
Like Tariq Abdul Salam already mixed and mastered the stuff. You know what I'm saying? So let's put it out there.
Word.
You know?
Word.
People keep asking about it. Let's stop saying it's coming. Let's just throw it out there.
Just do it, yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So that's kind of pretty much how that happened. A Weekend of Life was definitely a project I was gonna do, but I'm just like, you know what? Just put it out there, man. See how they respond to it or whatever the case.
Right.
And that's pretty much what happened.
Okay. All right. So we're not getting it.
Yeah.
You're not getting it now.
No.
Just a bunch of tracks.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure people will be still satisfied with that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
If not, be honest with you, man. I'm. You know how people announce projects?
Yeah.
I've learned to not do that.
Right.
To not do that.
And why is that? Is it the expectation you set on yourself?
Nah, not even so much that.
No.
Sometimes if you just look up, you just like, damn, they put that Starbucks there. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah, true.
Like that's crazy.
Just drop it on the head.
Yeah, pretty much like, yo, here you go. Just pretty much,
right,
and just keep it rolling like that.
Got you.
I have a lot of stuff that I'm pretty much sitting on.
Mm-hmm.
It's stuff I'm sitting on that I'm not even gonna talk about it.
Sure.
Any more than that, you know. But
sure.
Yeah, man, there
are some things.
Oh yeah.
Word.
Oh yeah.
Okay. You got the face like it's like the most wicked shit ever. One day y'all gonna get that. One day. And I apologize for the lighting too. That was definitely a misstep because it was nice in here, and then I guess like the sun went and hid behind a cloud. Shit, I don't know, but we were hidden characters for a minute.
Oh yeah. Yeah, right. Crazy.
Are you a big believer in chakra and stuff like that?
Yes.
You are?
Yes.
Can you speak a little bit about that, like how you got into that? And also, you mentioned God a lot.
Yeah.
Are you religious?
I'm not religious. I'm more spiritual than religious.
Spiritual, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Got you.
Yeah.
That's one of the questions I always ask, just for like people who don't know.
Right.
You can know what's your sign.
My sign?
Yeah.
Sagittarius. November 27th, 1992.
For all you people. Okay, but yeah, chakra. How'd you get into that?
7 days a week, 7 chakras.
Right.
I just happened to I don't know, just thought about it one day. You know, I would always see it, just thought about it one day. Even if you look at these particular incense or whatever the case, if you look at certain colors or whatever the case, these are colors that reflect the chakra.
Sure.
You know, like green, your 4th chakra, your heart.
Right.
You know? It just it was always around me. Like you actually look at certain stuff and you realize it's always around you in some capacity.
Right.
You know, like when you start to have not even so much dreams, you'll start to just subconsciously wander, and you'll start to just think about certain colors. And you're like, why am I thinking about, like these colors or whatever?
Why am I getting an orange feeling right
now? Like why am I like this is crazy? Then you realize it's not crazy. This has been here all along, and you didn't have to discover it. You just had to realize it.
Right.
You know, and it's like, okay, well, wow, like this is crazy. Like this is nuts. Let me just tap into it a little more. You know.
And the main thing is for people, anybody listening to this, and you're experiencing something like that, the main thing is don't be scared of that.
Nah.
Because if you're scared of it, you will start to obsess over it, and then you might drive yourself crazy.
Yeah.
And just observe, notice, and just move on.
Yeah.
Like you said, use it to your ability at some point.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, man. How do you feel misunderstood? Because that's a message that comes through your music. And I think we might have talked about that too.
Yeah. Prime example. Sweatshirt, sweatpants.
Right.
I'm dressing accordingly to the weather. If it happens to be a certain time of day, it might appear that I'm out to rob somebody. You know?
Right.
Like that's the biggest misunderstanding.
Do the robbers still wear that attire, or is it more like skinny jeans now, like Robins?
You want to know what's crazy? That was never the attire of anybody who's out to rob anybody.
Yeah, right.
That was some media created bullshit.
Right.
Like, that was never the attire of, like, they created that shit even in movies. Remember Mr. Deeds?
Yeah.
When the guy just happened to have on some shit like that. That was never really something that robbers wore. Robbers wear all kinds of shit.
They might pull up on you in a hoodie.
Right.
And, like, draw it down.
Yeah, it could be a hoodie, or hell, you have robbers who wear suits and ties.
Right.
You know? Like, who are really, really good at robbing you verbally.
Right.
Because they know how to actually seduce you
Yeah.
to cough that money up.
Right.
You know?
Definitely salesmen.
Oh yeah, man.
Salesmen suck.
We'll sell you garbage in a minute. Sell you garbage in a minute. Like they'll talk about the garbage like this is the. I don't care what you might have heard about it, or now mind you might not have heard nothing about it, but they're gonna make sure that they cover that early.
Definitely.
I don't care what you might have heard about it. This is the best thing. It'll change your life. Yeah, it'll change your life for the worse.
Right.
It'll set you back financially.
Yeah. Let me sign you up for a credit card.
Yeah. Oh
so
yeah.
you can put yourself in more debt.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but you want that though, right?
Right.
You need this to get that.
Right.
You don't have it now, but you do it now. Start. Or I could sell you water.
Man, they do this.
And like it's free.
They do this.
Yeah.
They do this all day long.
Yeah,
It's,
man.
it's one big ass game, you know.
What do you want to talk about anything else? Because we're actually, this is the longest podcast we've done so far.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, this is
crazy.
2 hours and 11 minutes.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I'm not mad at it. Great conversation the whole time.
Right. Likewise. I pretty much just want to, cut it short, right now, whatever the case.
Cut it short is crazy after 2
Irony, right?
Right.
It's crazy, but in the future we can definitely have another podcast,
Of course,
have
yeah,
other
of course.
discussions,
Definitely.
Because yeah, man, I just wanted to pretty much,
Bro, we could go on for another hour or whatever. It doesn't matter to me. I'm just saying.
Right.
Because I've pretty much run my questions that I have for you right now, except for like the song "Better Grind."
Mm-hmm.
When you were talking about, straighten up, man up.
Yeah.
Do you think pushing trauma to the back of your mind is healthy?
I can only talk about what works for me.
Sure.
For me, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Got you.
For somebody else, may not be so. That doesn't make them weaker than me. That doesn't make me stronger than them.
Right.
That's just
it was work for you.
That just happens to be what works for me,
Yeah. What's your favorite animal?
My favorite animal.
Yes.
Wow. Don't have one.
Don't have one?
Don't have one.
Wow. Do you know what a pangolin is?
A who?
A pangolin?
You learn something new every day. Enlighten me.
Yeah, man. Let me show you. This is huge.
Reasons like this is why I don't have favorite animals.
Right.
Because
you always find something.
Yeah. Wow.
Dude,
wow.
I love showing the pangolin. Everybody has the same.
So where does
like what is that?
Yeah, like what does it eat? Like
eat it's a spiny anteater. So it's in that family. The vegetation, small insects, stuff like that.
Are they highly intelligent creatures or?
I don't know that they're intelligent. They're almost extinct because people are hunting them to eat them in their scales and stuff like that. But they live in like Pakistan and stuff.
They eat ants and people hunt them to eat them?
Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah. Apparently it's a really rich meat, but
interesting.
Yeah. China.
Interesting.
Stuff like that area, like
wow.
Asia.
So, let me get this straight. Michael Vick dogs are not extinct.
No, they're not.
There's animals that are actually extinct, and these people who are responsible for these animals being extinct are not considered to be animals or anything like that themselves.
Exactly.
But Vic is
why? Because dogs can cuddle with you and like pat their tongue and wag their tail.
Right. Like,
but this thing is literally about to be extinct.
He paid his debt to society. I don't even think he was fighting the dogs. Was he?
No, he wasn't. It wasn't even him. It was he had the house where his cousins and shit were doing it.
So dogs he wasn't fighting.
Yeah, right. And they vilify him horribly.
They flush Vic down the toilet every time the first syllable to his name comes up. These animals are basically extinct.
Right.
And the people who are responsible for this, their names are not disclosed.
Yeah, not at all.
They're not getting hate mail. Nobody's calling them pieces of shit.
Right.
Nothing.
They're not stopping them from being at the hunter's ball.
Crazy.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, crazy. Shit, they're not looking at them crazy if they walk towards a Petco.
Right. Right.
That's crazy.
But yeah, I always like to show people that. I said the first time someone comes in here and is like, yeah, I know what that is. I'm going to change it to a new animal that no one knows.
You learn something new every day.
Yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah. But yeah, man, this has been Open Up Something New with Jzonqellis. We
Definitely.
are 2 hours and 15 minutes in.
Thanks for having me, man.
Of course,
Thanks
great talk, man. And I will catch you in the next one.
Definitely. Peace.
Hey, thanks for listening to Something New, Open Up with Jzonqellis, episode 9. We didn't play a track during the actual interview, so we're just going to throw this right at the end. This is What's Happening produced by Tariq Abdul Salam. It's out now on SoundCloud. The link is in the description for it. Let's go.
Whenever doubtful, staying grounded, keep me from being swallowed within the ground. With many others, driven by visions and listening to those still distant in the wind. Whistling among us, make every moment worth not blinking. I'm peeping, every second they watching, exposing to me identities of the treacherous ones clocking. Plotting, praying for the hands that revolve around my movements to stay paused and be 3 stiff sticks, surrounded by numbers. Not a sound in time could interrupt the sounds, nor the rhythm in my sound mind. Seeking knowledge to acquire wealth, acknowledging knowledge of life itself, cause godless prophets will teach you to neglect life itself. Understand climbing heights is a required price when finding your higher self. I'm only minding my higher self, so don't mind being called mindless. To the ones expressing their higher selves, 5'5" Nancy designer belts. It tells me that one day they gon' buckle to stay in the loop, and it'll be the same pain in Lady Day's voice when she sang Strange Fruit. So the slick dialect, the indirects, I just dissect and come to grips to just digress. I respond with results from my repetitive grind. They'll respond by no longer talking, shocked and definitely surprised, then finally say damn. To think we thought Jzonqellis was dead for this time, suckers. Flattered, surprised, annoyed at the same time. Shouldn't be a topic, what's happening in y'all lives. Flattered, surprised, annoyed at the same time. Shouldn't be a topic, what's happening in y'all lives. Flattered, surprised, annoyed at the same time. Shouldn't be a topic, what's happening in y'all lives. Flattered, surprised, annoyed at the same time. Shouldn't be a topic, what's happening in y'all lives. Every time you attempt to hit a target, past the norm they tag along, babbling, trying to keep the shackles on. So keep in mind, whatever that is keeping you in drive, keeps them fearful of the chains breaking if you leap too high. Picture it, analyze it, comprehend the 2 cents from the picture's lips. Tell me if I'm lying, then I stand corrected. If you enlighten, you see the inevitable manifesting. Meaning this is anything but my perception. If anything, this is where things headed towards. Everybody got a season, as salty as hell is yours. Feel like you should be living with yourself, cause you got more sense than the fraudulent company you keep. The grounds they walk on crumbles under their feet, cause every path you embark on, you leave nothing incomplete. Surgical when on task, holding the tools required firmly within your grasp. It's actually sad, they rather get mad and act like they got cramps on a rag, instead of taking action against everything that restricts. Sadly, that's how they built. You know the guidelines to abide by. So when you survive and rise, just know it's no survivor's guilt. Take time, self-reflect. In this chaotic life, see how hate got them obsessed, and think about it like. Flattered, surprised, annoyed at the same time. Shouldn't be a topic, what's happening in y'all lives. Flattered, surprised, annoyed at the same time. Shouldn't be a topic, what's happening in y'all lives. Flattered, surprised, annoyed at the same time. Shouldn't be a topic, what's happening in y'all lives. Flattered, surprised, annoyed at the same time. Shouldn't be a topic, what's happening in y'all lives.